So welcome in, everybody. This is not the third time we've tried to start this show match. All right, this is actually the first time. Don't listen to what Twitch chat has to say. It's not like we've had a nightmare getting this started, but we're here. $1,000 on the line, and two great teams are going to be testing their capabilities in 3v3. This whole upload will go to my extras channel. The extras channel. Oh, don't you freaking dare! Why is there a pause?
Yes.
And there we go. All right, we're back in. We're actually starting here. And yeah, the signal from Hera was telling Leary where his boar was because he didn't know where his boar was. So yeah, as far as the civs go, typically you're going to have unique units incorporated. So it's rather important that your civs are capable there. Portuguese, you have the organ gun. Over here, the Chinese would have the Chukonu. The pocket, you got Conquistadors, you got Latis, you got Genoese crossbowmen from Vivi, and then you got the Fire Archer from Hera. I haven't seen Fire Archer incorporated that much, but I feel like it should be okay. I think, honestly, the Italian player isn't going to make Genoese crossbowmen until later in the game. I think it's probably just going to be a boom from Vivi. But the Genoese crossbowmen could be helpful against at least the Conquistadors. So, no big team bonuses at play. Both teams have trade bonuses for the really late game. A Spanish getting more gold per trip for their team. Italian's just cheaper to add the trade. So if we get there, those things will be incorporated. But as is often the case with Regicide Fortress, you want to use your scout to bring in the boars just so you have more efficient economy. And since you have the castle there, you can just heal up and put your scout inside the castle to heal up. Gotta say, Leary's uptime here, it's a little bit faster than I was expecting. We'll see if he can manage the fast castle, but from what I remember with the Regicide Fortress builds, I'd normally have an extra villager or two. Like, the Italian player has actually added an additional villager. And it is cheaper for the Italians to go up. This is kind of fun. So Vivi has already put his king in Yo's tower. And now he's moving. And he's going to go this way. Maybe to another tower? Maybe to a safer tower? Like, basically, I think he's expecting Fire Archer pressure from Hera. And yeah, he's just going to put his king over there. Yo is kind of notorious for losing his kings when he shouldn't. Regicide Rumble 7, he lost his king to a 1600 elo viewer named Sully. That was an epic moment. He didn't sign up for the next Regicide Rumble. I'm going to beg him to sign up for Regicide Rumble 7. We'll see if he can get his revenge. Sorry, that was 5 where he lost his king. Also lost his king in some tournaments. So Yo usually keeps that king inside of his base. And he's probably going to put it inside the tower as well. And there he goes. All right. Once people reach feudal age, you want your king inside your base because the scouts are a little bit faster. So China just not taking near as many risks with their king exploration. And it seems like Vitality's pretty happy to still be moving around. Leary's build is actually perfect. Look at this uptime. That is at the absolute limit there. This is amazing castle time. We'll see what he wants to do with it. 4 on gold would indicate some military, so I'd expect some organ guns out of the castle. Licks will have a decision to make. I don't actually know who wins Chukunu organ gun, but I think the organ gun should shred. Chinese just have the better economy because they start with additional villagers. I wouldn't like this wood line for lakes. Like, I feel like you want to be on this wood line underneath your castle. If you're going to be ranged this way, you don't want to be near the organ guns. So, unforeseen Cal says Vivi's king is in a bad spot. What, you mean here? I think it's fine. I mean, fire archers are going to push you. Hera's actually on stone. I don't know if this is necessarily for another castle or not, but it's kind of rare that you have somebody on stone. So, I think Hera's going to play full on fire archer, full on aggro here. Fire archers, yeah, look, wow, this is going to be another castle from Hera? It would be wild. Imagine if Hera actually moves forward and castle drops Yo. And then both the kings are here. It's kind of risky, though. You got to run the whole way across the map. The Heart should be making conks in support at some point. And scouts over here from Leary and Lix have found each other. Lionful, the Kings are not exploding. This is not a community game. It'd be kind of funny, though. Do exploded Kings, you're losing the game, and then you yeet your king into the enemy town. Hopefully help the team a little bit. Yo's here as well with his scout. Leary needs to get home. But the thing is, the castle's there. So I think, and Leary also clicks faster than anyone, so I think that Leary can easily just fall back towards the castle. Interesting. So he's using the Vills on gold to actually buy resources, and he's just going for a boom. So you look at the left side, multiple instances where he used the market. I could have sworn there were 2 instances, but it looks like just one. Either way, second TC, third TC. So no military from him. And Yo, second TC, third TC. Vivi, second and third TC. Same from Lix. Same from Heart. And then Hera is coming forward with Vills. So yeah, Hera is going to play aggressive. And that castle, it could always be disrupted, but if everyone's pretty much booming, it probably won't be denied. He has no loom right now. So, like, if their scouts find him... Okay, he's getting loom. That was just in queue. Yeah, if the scouts were to find him, it'd be a problem. Now, there is good team support. So, the scout from Hera's looking around. And then you also have Heart here, so... Vivi did the right thing to move out early. And there's the castle. Hera's debating on the position, and there it goes. So, that'll be castle number 2 from Hera. Thing is, your eco gets really out of whack with this. This will give you entry into Vivi's base, though, because you can shoot down the gate. I just want to show Hera's eco for a second. So essentially, because your forward Vills are going to need to do something, he probably isn't going to want to take stone for a third castle. Maybe he will. If he wants to do that, though, the option is there. Just take the stone. I was thinking he might take the wood, but no, he's going to take the stone. Okay, so these Vills on stone could maybe shift around. He's got wood and he's got gold. Heart actually with some missionaries right now. So he's got missionaries around the map trying to collect the relics, which is a recent change. The Spanish can now do that. So Heart will hopefully have a big eco. But he's trying to get the relics from the Lithuanian player. And I don't know if Yo is expecting that. He might not be able to get these relics. Look how fast the missionaries are moving. There's the unique tech from Hera. Red Cliff Tactics. So fire archers do more damage against buildings with that tech. Let's see if I can get the full breakdown here. Demo ships and fire archers deal fire damage to ships and buildings. Super expensive, though. Super expensive. You will never reach imp in this game if you're Hera. Because this is so costly. Double castle. Unique tech that early. Guy doesn't have bodkin yet. No armor on the archers. But I like to see Hera play aggressive. Vivi has had a lot of time to realize what's happening here, and he's going for skirmishers. And he's already got a 16 villager lead over Hera. Look at Vivi's economy. Vivi's economy is awesome. Hera's 1 TC, Vivi's 3. Vivi's got great eco upgrades, and Vivi's going to have elite skirm. I kind of feel like Vivi's okay here. Like, basically, Hera's kind of out of the game at the moment if he's not killing somebody, so... But let's see. I think the next castle from Hera is going to be really aggressive. A relic count. Looks like scouts have been active. This scout killed probably a monk out there. We still have scouts roaming around. Yeah, the relics are going to be really nice if you're going to play Latis. We do have just some house walls over here from Leary and just booming on that side. Yeah, now pretty soon Bodkin's going to be in. And once Bodkin era was in, Hera has to respect these skirmishers. The range that the fire archers have against buildings, they don't have against units. Which is very weird and unique to AoE. So yeah, now skirmishers are out, and now you don't have an answer to the skirms. And Vivi's micro has actually been really nice so far. I don't think this is working at all for Hera. Like, Hera's trying to cook, but he's not even burning the food. It's the opposite. It's all, everything's super undercooked. Only person who would take a bite out of this is your weird uncle who makes questionable decisions. No one else would touch this cooking. This is rough. Yeah, this is raw, dude. Oh, he's getting some kills here. Didn't realize he still hadn't had Bodkin. So Vivi probably also got lured into a false sense of security there. Because you assume Hera would have had Bodkin arrow earlier. But I mean, 59 vills versus 37. Hera's got to kill the guy. The only thing he's done is attack the archer range. And it's very easy with this economy to make another archer range of your Vivi. Replacing this many skirmishers could get to be problematic, though. And Hera's committing all of his focus on this, whereas Vivi's got to commit focus elsewhere. To the boom. Missionary from Heart here to heal up behind, which is funny. Teamwork makes the dream work. And Hera doesn't have ballistics. Vivi is... Vivi's micro there is hilarious. Hera doesn't even have ballistics. Vivi's ducking back into the shot. He thought about it too much. And so maybe Hera's making a little bit of progress here. I will say, Hart and Leary have an incredible boom. And organ guns are starting to come out from Leary. And I think organ guns could completely shred Lix. The Lix could have a problem. Lix is on the way to the Imperial Age, though. Leary hasn't clicked yet. And, alright. So he took down the archer range. So, like, someone in chat just said these archers are broken. The thing is, this has all come at a massive investment. So, yeah, there's taking down the buildings pretty quickly now, but it was been a big investment. Like, this is all Hera's been able to commit to. And he doesn't have a lot of economy. So, I don't think they're that broken. I think they're pretty balanced because Hera's had to commit his whole game plan to this. And again, his whole game plan, he's taken down one archer range. He hasn't killed any eco. He is keeping his opponent busy, though. Now, Siege is going to get brought into the mix as well. Genoese crossbowman got converted by Hart. Hera's going to add a siege workshop to add his own siege. And Hera's micro is looking pretty nice right now. You can tell, like, obviously Hera's good with multitasking, but you can definitely tell when a player is only committed to the micro, right? It's a lot harder for Vivi. Very surprised to me. Okay, I guess he did build another range in the back. Was going to say that I'm just surprised he didn't add the range a bit earlier. I think another archer range. Now would be the time for Hera if he feels like he's got the momentum to drop a castle. So here he goes. He wants to drop another castle. Hart's missionary is standing over the foundation. Now he's standing over the foundation, and there he goes. But there's a mangonel and there's skirms on the way. Vivi could potentially deny this. The other players are about to come into this game, and there's about to be some big fights. I don't think Chukunu is the right play at all. Chukunu is horrible against organs, to my knowledge. And so Lix is maybe making the wrong decision there. Hera's castle is not going up over here. Not yet. 45 villagers versus 85 on this side. Vivi's done the right... He's done the job. You just don't die to this. And eventually your teammates are going to come into the mix with stuff, and then Hera's push could get completely pushed back. Hera might complete the castle, though. It's going to be Rams and Chukunus from Lix on this side. Hera's castle's at 50%. Hera lands a really nice mangonel shot. That felt like it was 20 tiles away. And Vivi's realizing he's got to let this castle go up. See if Hera clicks the farm. Yep, clicks the farm. Get that half tile extra range, but Vivi didn't go to the farm. And now Hera's onto the castle. And now he's got 2 forward castles to produce the fire archers. And still has the castle in the back. Latis and Knights are meeting and engaging in the middle. Hart's going for a big team wall behind here. I didn't see how many relics Yo was able to get. It looks like Yo was able to get 2 relics, so he's got +2 attack, which isn't crazy, but nice engagements there from Yo. Delaying the wall as well from Yo is very good. And Yo can eventually come in here with Cavalier and engage against Hera's fire archers. Vivi's got to repair, and he's got to hold. Over here, Leary's house wall is going down. He does have elite organ guns. But he's up against rocket carts and Chukunu. I think elite organ guns shred the Chukunu. But honestly, I haven't seen it a lot. Now, the rocket cart should be a good addition, but you probably need to get elite if you're Licks. Right now, I think Leary's building up to basically... I think he'll slaughter Licks if that's a 1v1. So I think for LY, you got to push back Hera right now. Yo's done a better job than Hart, in my opinion. At least with some of these engagements. He's pressured Hart a lot. And yeah, here he is. And Hart's all the way back at his base. Hera has to hop inside the castles. There's no siege, though, to push Hera's castles yet. And so this should give Hart time. And Hart's a really underrated pocket. And I think if Hart can click Paladin faster than Yo, that's their window here. And Paladin could swing over to this side and roll Licks, or it can go this side. Yeah, Hera's just like this massive distraction. And everything that Vivi has done, like Vivi going skirms, for example, contributes 0 against Paladin. So, in that sense, it's been a really nice build from Hera to force the opponent into skirms instead of Genoese, because the Genoese player would be a problem for the Paladin player otherwise. And you see the Cav have found each other in the middle. One villager castle from Yo. And here comes the Chukunu and the Rams. It's going to be Siege Ram, which makes things pretty interesting. The Bombard Cannons would have to take them down. And I don't think Lix was expecting there to be a castle there. He wants to add some Bombard Towers. Still Hera's attacking. Paladins are over here, so Yo's going to come this way with Hart. Or I guess with Lix, you know, to support there. But yeah, like the Siege Rams, I just don't think that's going to be enough if there's Bombard Cannons as well with these Organ Guns. And so this is becoming a problem. I don't know how much the Chukunu are going to contribute. Cav come over this way from Yo. He's 20 seconds off from Paladin. Oh, not where he wants to be without Paladin. And now we got Trebs from Vivi, and we got Trebs from Yo. And Hera's probably like, crap. This is why I said that it just didn't do enough for the investment, you know? Now, that might end up helping because it slowed down the Italian player, but Hera's out of the game, essentially. And Vivi's at 110 Vils and can start to make Genoese now. So Leary and Hart need to win the left side. Leary and Hart have done their job. Paladins are also chasing down Hera's villagers. Not that... But again, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter at this point. What matters is Vivi being able to fight the other two on Vitality now. Especially because I think Lix does not have enough. He doesn't have Elite Chukunu yet. And the Paladins from Hart just completely overwhelming the Paladins from Yo. This is still winnable for Vitality. Because Lix could just get completely wiped off the map here. He's going to lose the castle, which he needs because he was committed to producing Chukunu. He does actually do a nice move there. He wedges his Chukunu into the choke point. Castle fires there. That'll give him some time. Hera might need to run his king because Vivi's out to get revenge and he's about to push Hera. Hera's about to be gone from the game. Paladin's got to come over this way. It's tough, but if you're Hart, you might tell Hera, just run. Hera's trapped Paladin back here, which is cute. But honestly, I would tell Hera to just run and then you kill Lix. I don't think you want to send Paladins this way if you're Hart. Hart denied this castle, by the way. We'll see what direction he runs, but that was ambitious from Yo from the start. How can you engage into this many Organ Guns, man? And this many Paladins is really tough. I don't think Chukunu's the answer, but it's all you've got right now. Trebuchet did snipe a Bombard Cannon, but the Bombard Cannons get a massive shot there on the Chukunu. And now Yo is just completely overextended, and now Vivi's pushing. Hera's got to run with that king. Okay, if this was scripted, guys, I would have Hera forget about his king and Hera die, and then Hart and Leary would fight an epic 2v3. And I say that because I think Hart and Leary can actually win this on their own right now. But, like, you got to be careful if you're Hera. You got to run probably into your ally's base. That's what Vivi did in the Dark Age before things got too crazy. Okay, they're in. Hera will run with his last remaining villagers here. I'm going to assume he's going to remember his king is there, but it's easy to forget. Speaking of kings, Lix's king is back here. Lix is just building bombard towers to slow this down. And okay, Hera's on the move. Hera's on the move. I think it's really tough for Vivi to get over to this side. Also, I think organs are still tough to engage into regardless. So I can understand the argument for just ignoring Hera, but you want to actually do damage to him first and before you switch sides. Hera's got some fire archers in the back here. He's contributing, guys. He's contributing. This is more damage to the enemy eco than he did with his entirety of his other push. But, yeah, his fire archers are going to go down. King is on the move there from Lix because he's losing ground. He just has, like, no military to engage into this death ball. How do you engage into this death ball? I don't think they can kill that. They got to kill the players. And if they can get through Hera's walls, they can eventually make it over to Heart. And Heart will have to start sending numbers here and respect that. So I think that's the game plan now. You get to Heart's eco. You maybe even get to Heart's king. Hera's king is going to go to the north like it's a community game. And Leary is sending Hera resources so Hera can hold on. Hera is the new corner boy. The legend of corner boy. Hera. Staring off into the distance. Wondering if he commanded his people wrongly with the fire archers. Yeah, the bombard towers are buying them so much time. I think it's a really nice decision. I don't know if they're going to win, but the bombard towers have given them such good opportunities to hold. You'll notice most of the paladins are gone for Heart because he's got to send paladins home now, and he's sending them into Genoese crossbowmen and soon into some trebs as well. So Heart's done a good job keeping these alive, though. I thought he would overextend there. And Vivi's got very little, or sorry, Lix has very little military. Hera's running from the corner. He's got to go to the other corner. At a forward castle from Vivi. Damn, what a castle. And that's because he is elite Genoese. He knows that elite Genoese counter paladins. So Heart's kind of here and he can't do anything. Oh man, look at the bombard cannons. The bombard towers, rather, are killing some organ guns. Leary looked a little distracted there. Remember, at the very least, this is their trade corner. And Heart engaged there for a second. He sniped one treb, but he won't stick around for the others. Yeah, Heart's going to start to lose castles. The king is out. The king is scared. The king is terrified. Hera's eco is also around tier 2, so he's far from safe. And they've held the line. Like, Lix he's still building more towers. He has more castles. They're just delaying the inevitable engagement. Heart's going to lose this castle. There's not much more Heart can really do at this point. Kind of funny. The king is standing right there for Lix. It's not actually inside of the tower, which is kind of scary, but... Yeah, look at Leary. He moves forward for a second. He runs into a couple castles and towers. And so, again, just more frustration. And now Heart's losing more ground. Hera's starting to build watchtowers. He is upgrading them to guard tower, but Castle Age guard towers even are not going to contribute much. And it doesn't seem like Vitality can do enough here. Like, Leary and Heart had a really good push. Guys, what an incredible job Lix has done, though. I mean, Vivi and Lix, both on the flanks, have played incredible games. Vivi just dealt with that pressure like it was nothing. And that was Hera going all in with a unit that at least some chatters thought were OP, right? Really sick macro to hold. But also Lix, he's lost most of his base, and he still stayed competitive. This pressure is coming. Guys, they're going towards the kings. There was just a signal there from Yo. He told Lix to put his king inside the tower. That's how you have to win this game right now if you're Leary. Is you have to take the kings. And I do not like that engagement for Yo. I like the engagement if the Chukunu are here. Actually, the engagement's fine. I take it back. Because the bombard cannons will go down. There's not nearly enough paladins from Heart because he's still at home. And the Chukunu numbers are there. They will actually clear this. The start to the fight I didn't love because there were halbs there. But they will hold. They will clear. Meanwhile, bombard towers everywhere from China. And the Paladins are getting one-shotted over here. And Hart figures I might as well engage. I do my best at killing some Genoese crossbowmen, maybe. And he might even clear them, because Paladins are still Paladins, but they needed to push this side. And they don't have a push anymore. And that was a great play there from Lingwan. I just think that... I mean, if it works, it looks like a masterpiece, and you get all the plaudits, and, you know, you clickbait it on YouTube or whatever. But I think while the Fire Archers looked strong against buildings, you have to remember he had such a weak economy. Like, it was truly all in. He didn't boom into them. Like, he had half the economy of Vivi the entire game. And I just didn't feel like it was really good enough. Again, I gotta give some respect though to Vivi, because that was a lot of pressure and he was able to hold. He lost some buildings there. He had to constantly deal with engaging against Hera, and he still was able to do it. I also, as I said, think Lix had an incredible game because he lost all of his base. If they lost Lix's base faster, Vitality wins this game, because Lix is gone. And then it goes right into Yo's base. And then, I don't know, there was a period of time where they couldn't deal with it. The only reason they could engage eventually against Leary and against Hart here was because they got all the way to Hart's base. And Hart couldn't send any more reinforcements in. That's the only reason why. So yeah, like if Hera put up a little bit better of a fight on the right side, or if Lix didn't put up as good a fight on holding on the left side over here, I think the Vitality could have won this game through Hart and Leary. Didn't happen. Good game, though. Hopefully we get more good games like that. And yeah, maybe the Wu Fire Archers is just the big standout mistake there. Amazing engagements the whole way through for China. I'm just amazed. Like, none of these guys are incredibly fast, but they're really patient. They're really solid. Like, it looked like Yo and Lix were going to lose every engagement they took on the left, and yet this is what the KD looks like. It's because they found the right moments. All right, guys, lock in and pay attention. This is going to be a crazy game, all right? So this is front line. You've got teams in a line, and so the front players, which would be Leary for Vitality and Lix for Lingwan, they're usually all about creating chaos. Now, there's a bit of a meta at play here. For Vitality, they like to have the forward player go archers. They like to have the back player go scouts. And then behind them, the only other instance we had was Hera actually went fast feudal boom with humans. Here, though, I think Hera's going to play Mapuche, and he's going to play fast castle into bolus riders, which is basically a cav archer unit, right? Lix, his meta is lame and Vil War everyone, okay? Lix does not make it to feudal age as his plan. Lix Vil fights. He has Loom already. He's stealing a boar. So he walked forward and stole Leary's boar. And I don't know if Leary's prepared for this, guys. And this is the exact counter to Leary's playstyle, is you ruin his feudal times. And Leary lost the villager to a boar already. Yep, this is... Listen, I've seen it so many times, and it's only going to get crazier. At a certain point, Lix is probably going to try and get this pressure to Hart. The idea is, if Lix can annoy 2 players, then the other 2 players are going to have a free game, right? Yo behind him is going to be going scouts. Vivi, I think, will consider a fast castle into cav archers. But yeah, already Leary lost a villager because he, got it frustrated. He lost a boar, so he doesn't have as much food. And he's also going to lose his sheep. And now at a certain point, Lix is going to say... okay... Well, Leary's not giving me any more free damage. So let's wall this in, and let's try and find the other guy. And the other guy's waiting for him. And the other guy is Hart. And Hart has already received this communication, so Hart knows. Hart knows to brace himself. It's funny, Lix hasn't even taken wood yet. And here come more Vils. Okay, we're going to have the gold walled up. Keep in mind, Leary's going to have to send Vils elsewhere. He probably wants the gold to play archers. We got Vils coming this way from Lix. Lix will never be top score. Like, look at this, dude. Lix will never be top score here. He'll always be bottom score, but he doesn't care. He just wants to win. and he just wants to find some vills he can harass. And this is exactly what he wants to see. Leary's going fast feudal, and Leary wants to try and get this like perfect timing on getting archers, which means wood and gold. And Lix is like, I want a vill fight. So he's springing forward villagers. Eagle goes down for Lix. Leary gets some good micro. He killed a vill. He loses one though. He loses his champy. And what his villagers aren't doing is they're not working. But Lix is more where that came from. Lix is going to send the vills this way, which would path into Heart's TC. But it might not actually be the worst if Heart garrisons. That's some idle time. Which sounds weird, but that's how they'll see it. Heart with some nice blocking, though, and then kills a vill. We'll see how many scouts Heart can make. We'll see how many archers Leary can make. No barracks yet. He would normally already have that. No archer range for some time as well. I've seen Lix TC drop on this, but he actually didn't take wood at all this game. He didn't even like build a lumber camp. So it's just been food and it's just been vill warring. And now he's going to get the Harris base. Meanwhile, Yo is going to build a stable, so he's going to go for scouts. And Hera is trying to get a smooth, fast castle, and he's got a house wall. And actually, the houses are going to go down very quickly as well. So he's got a lot of work here. He's going to have to, at the very least, build more houses or repair the houses. Lix is the sacrificial lamb. He does everything for his team. This is the perfect map for Lix. I don't want to speak too soon, but I think that China has got to be the best team in the world at this map because Lix is the best player in the world at this role. He's so good at it. Like, so many other players would still build a lumber camp. He's like, why do I need a lumber camp? I'm vill warring. I got straggler trees. Hera's about to reach feudal age. Scouts are going to be coming in here from Heart. So Lix could start to lose some villagers, but again, at the same time, it's like there's going to be army coming in from Yo. And Leary's building the archer range, so he will make some archers as well. I'm probably going to speak too soon. I complimented Lix. I compliment this strat. But Vitality is held against it. And at the end of the day, Lix is not going to be able to fight in this game. So it has to be about the others. And here comes Lix again with even more vills. He's got 25 vills. 15 of them are here. The other 10 are working. Here come the scouts here from Yo. Heart's going to chase that. Hera's on the way to Castle Age. But Hera needs a barracks. Hera needs an archer range to go for his build. And he's investing a lot of wood into repairs right now. I like the spearman here from Heart. He knows it's going to be scouts coming in. He probably should add a few more. And he's just waiting. It's very hard to fight back with villagers against the scouts. So he's being patient. But he's focused on those vills. And he's going to lose a vill of his own. So he loses a vill there. But never mind. He's way. It's fine. He gets more vills with ecotechs. Leary update. Leary's got some archers and spearmen. And Leary's trying to get to Yo. Really smart from Leary. Don't focus on Lix at all. Nobody care. He doesn't care about Lix. Lix is going to be dead anyways. You got to hit the other people. So there he goes. But Leary, don't run into the town center. Vills are still fighting back from Lix. There hasn't been a lot of support from Mr. Yo. I was expecting a little bit more. Mr. Yo has to think about this. But the two spearmen are such a nice addition there from Leary. Because all the scouts come home. And oh man, Lix's villagers are in trouble then. And Hera's building his archer ranges anyways. Hera will get to Boldest Riders, which was his initial plan. Boldest Riders are a really, really strong fast castle unit. Hera's eco's not perfect, but it's certainly better than Lix's. Yo is going to clear this. I still really like what Leary did right there. I think that was a good call. And he's also getting revenge on Lix on the front. And scouts are coming in as well from Heart. Oh no! Oh no! Lix! Lix! Yikes! Again, your cope here is that this is expected. Like, this is your game plan, is that Lix is going to feel pain. But Vitality's done a good job mitigating that damage and still getting to their game plans. Honestly, I'm just surprised. Like, Mr. Yo's had a free game. I'm really surprised that he wasn't able to do more with scouts. Like, he should have more scouts than Heart, in my opinion. And more upgrades and everything. Vills are... Oh, man. Lix. Oh, he's getting picked off by the Boldest Riders. Lix is dead. It's got to be about Yo. And it's got to be about Vivi now. And Vivi's going Cav Archers. Double range. He's got some walls so this pressure can't get to him. Does anyone know which is superior, Bolus Rider or a Cav Archer? Amazing job from Leary and from Hart. And from Hera, but Leary and Hart, they still get to their army. But they had this much chaos is really strong. Really impressive. They made it look very easy here. I think it can... The Bolus Riders versus Cav Archers approach could probably go either way. But Lix, Forever Dark Age... And it must be very therapeutic, very satisfying for Vitality to be able to kill this many villagers from this guy and send him back home. Because the start could not have been... I mean, it obviously could have been worse, but the start was really, really poor for Leary, right? Weird engagement from Yo. I think that's the best engagement you give this Spearman. Didn't love that, but I think he's distracted because the Bolus Riders are going to reach his base. Ah, man, Yo's had an off game. Doesn't even have a blacksmith upgrade yet. This is just dominance from Vitality. I expected so much more. But yeah, Yo has had a really rough game considering how much time he's had. I expected double stable. I expected armor to be in early. He's Slav, so like, I thought he'd be in a good position to really spam. And Hera has a free game from here. Scouts from Hart are going to be upgraded to Light Cav maybe because he's on the way to Castle Age as well. Very well played. So guys, if you're Lix, you are now the emotional support teammate. You just sit there and you say nothing, or you say, good job, well played, we got this. That's your role now for the team because you're Forever Dark Age. And you're not going to be able to contribute too much in any other way, so. Oh, man. It's funny. I've actually seen this many times. Not just from Ling Wan. But I've seen in other team game tournaments, the team try the Vil fighting. And I thought the start was actually pretty perfect. Because normally what happens is the forward guy loses Vils. But then the back, too, have such a strong game. And, like, Yo has been... I say this with respect, but Yo's he's had one of the worst games I've seen from him in a long time. He was completely untouched. He should be ahead on army compared to Hart. He should be ahead on upgrades, and he was behind it both. He did kill a villager from Hart. I know Hart's the way and everything, but something went wrong there for Yo. I'm not really sure. He's opting for tower defense now. But... now you've got Hart in the Castle Age. The Hart is just going to continue to pressure as well. And he's going to stay unstable, so he'll mix in the Haiguang here. Hun Cav Archers are cheap, so you can spam a lot of them. It is 2 TCs as well for Vivi. Vivi's had a fine game. But I think Hera's Bolus Riders combined with some Haiguang. And then eventually, once Leary gets a crossbow, you got 3 Castle Age armies. So it's going to be dangerous for those Cav Archers. Yeah, Hera actually runs at the CA here. Damn, these things are insane. I guess the Cav Archers don't have bloodlines yet. So they have less HP than the Bolus Riders. Yeah, Hera has ballistics. And yeah, the movement of the Bolus Riders makes them kind of tough to hit because they just move, I think, a little bit faster, right? Yeah, they move a lot faster, actually. I guess you can't get husbandry for these units, so their base speed is much higher, and the Cav Archer player would have to get husbandry. Bolus Riders are insane out of the box, essentially, right? Because they give in so many bonuses because they can't get upgrades otherwise, like you would with a Cav Archer unit. Really strong unit. I think they're at the very least on par with the Cav Archers, which makes them strong. Okay, Yo gets into the back. First thing against the run of play here from Ling Wan we've seen in a while. And Hera will probably eventually clear this, but he takes some losses here. Tries to trap them, so I guess the pain doesn't get any worse. I think that Palisade's going to end up going down, and the units can get out anyways. So, nice job there from Yo. But we got Leary and Castle Age in 2 seconds, and Leary's going to have 15 crossbowmen, and Lix was running forward. I think the TC drop, because they're desperate. His thought was like, take a fight and win the fight as a team, and then I just drop my TC here. Because, like, what else is he supposed to do? Or maybe he was going to tower rush or something because he's on stone. Leary about to get the upgrades. Drop the Siege Workshop and the Monastery on the front. And holy. Honestly, my whole cast... in hindsight, I should have been asking a couple more questions of Lix. It's just because I've seen Lix win for his team with the opening so many times. I kind of felt inevitable, but I was... Vitality having 3 players actually play the game, it turned out to be pretty valuable here. And tower on the front from Lix. I mean, it's all desperation at this point, right? He's getting completely slaughtered. There's no counter damage whatsoever from Lingwan. This feels bad. Like, they have no potential, like, win condition at the moment. Behind in eco, behind in military, and Lix's base is about to get pushed. They could easily call the GG here. Vivi's had a great game, but I don't know if Vivi's 61 villagers is going to be enough to up the army numbers to what they need to do to stop this push from snowballing even more. Hera's having fun with the Bolus Riders as well. Do you guys think Bolus Riders are balanced? To me, I think they're a little busted. But it's tough with any of the civs from this DLC because, like, yeah, it's tough to balance a DLC where the civilization has so many early bonuses and lacks so many late bonuses. So the civs do need to have some strong things in the early to mid game. I don't know if this game was necessarily about the bolus, to be honest. I think a lot of it was the other aspects. Cav archers could maybe be competitive there, but you can't be competitive if Lix and Yo don't have a good game and the Vitality gets a win on the board. Yeah, like, I just don't know. I don't really want to point fingers too heavily, of course, but in game 1 I did, because I explained how I didn't feel like Hera's build was worth it at all, right? And so here, like, Lix harasses Leary, in theory slows him down. Lix then is Vil rushing Hera, in theory slows him down, kind of slowing Heart down. I mean, maybe not significant enough. But, like, I don't know what happened with Yo, to be honest. It almost feels like Yo didn't have a boar. And I want to see, like, did he only have 1 boar? No, he has 2. I don't know why he was late on things. Like, he's completely untouched the whole game, and he's Slavs, which is excellent food eco. I really think I expected him to have more scouts than he did. And you're expecting Lix to lose Vils, but, like, he's supposed to have 2 to 3 more scouts than Heart. He's supposed to be able to deal with Leary. He shouldn't be taking any damage there. And then, big injection of army from Yo, and then you got Vivi come in with big CA numbers. That could work, maybe. But yeah, anyway, scores 1-1. My capture age is broken. I have to go into here to change it. And, yeah, we'll keep moving on. All right, welcome in, folks. A lot to take in here at once. So let me break it down for you. We got these 3 teams together, right? But usually you have 1 or 2 players fight on the front here. And we've got Lix, Vil fighting here against Leary. Lix has probably picked Berbers solely for the faster villager movement speed. It seems like the scouts are also on the way. And the reason they come here is because there's just so much food. And they're going to run out of food without that. So if 2 players commit to having the mill in the middle, they're going to end up fighting over it. And all the scouts from the allies are here. Now, the other players are going to do something at some point, but this is kind of the setup. Actually, I like this map, but I've seen some ridiculous games because everyone hard commits to the Vil War and they just never stop. So that's what we've got here. It might not end up mattering what else happens because somebody's going to win the middle or lose the middle pretty hard here. So far, 13 villagers for Lix, 10 villagers for Leary. About to be 9 villagers for Leary. The Lix is 3 villagers ahead of Leary. Meanwhile, we got Hart here. He's kind of got a weak scout. Hart's Byzantines. We might see him go Spears and Skirms. In the back, you got Hera. Hera's just got a free game. He's Saracens, which is interesting. I think Vivi's picked Burmese. Vivi being yellow. Just look at the mini-map because I can't look away from the Vil fighting. But Vivi's probably going to go Fast Castle Arambai would be my guess. And then Yo's nearby as Hindustanis, I would assume, is going to try and go Scouts or something. But again, Leary's already hard committed to this. So he's just got a Vil fight. Because if you stop Vil fighting, your opponent gets all that free food. And there's like 1,000 food in the middle. So at the Berber villager speed combined with Lix's micro has been a real problem for Leary. That's going to be another villager down because that extra movement speed. Leary can't get away. So now 10 villagers again for Leary, just 14 for Lix. As Camel is on 1 HP there for Leary, so it contributes as a distraction, but that's the only thing. Will this end up mattering, I wonder? Like, will Leary being essentially out of the game matter? Or is it not going to matter because he's going to have his teammates come in and carry? Players are really close together, so carries potential. But, dude, that's so good for... Again, Berbers, man. What a cool pick. Remember, the Vils used to be even faster in the Dark Age for the Berbers, and they actually nerfed it. I made a most annoying player of the year video on the villager fighting. With Poles. Poles used to regenerate in Dark Age, but then also it was Berbers as well. I'll switch to the Eco KD, bottom right. 7-2 for Lix. Yo also sniped a Vil. For Leary, he's killed 1, he's lost 8. And he's about to lose his sheep, dude! Not the sheep! Look, he's escaping with the sheep! And he loses the mill, which he might not actually have the wood for building another one. Yeah, he doesn't even have the wood for building another one. So even if he claims his territory, he can't really do too much with it. So Heart's going to mix in spears, and Heart's going to mix in skirms. He just wants to flood the middle with army. Lix is still... I think he's aware that this is about to be awkward for him. But he's just going to take as much food as he can before probably falling back home. Looks absolutely ridiculous, but it's kind of how the map goes. Scout is over here from Lix, by the way. We'll see if he remembers that and ends up using it or scouting. But yeah, Vils are weak still. So I think Lix should probably leave. Maybe this is what allows Leary to recover and get some food. To be honest, there's only 100 food left. That's so funny. 100 wood for 100 food. Not exactly the trade you would want. I think he didn't realize that the food was almost gone. He does have some sheep being sent to him from the outside. So there you go. Food's gone, Leary. Enjoy. Yo's kind of walled up. He's pretty clearly going with scouts. And behind this, you've got the stone and gold in the middle from Vivi. And Vivi's going to be going fast castle, but he's trying to bring in these boars. And it looks like Lix is going to need the boar as well. What do we think of the map, guys? It's crazy, right? It's like... It's crazy, but having seen it before, and these players have played it before, there's this own meta. And this is often it. Vil warring from one player from each team. And then spears and skirms, or like scouts from other players into fast castle. I forget what tournament this debuted in, to be honest, but... Like, Hera is stacking fishing ships. I don't know what military he's going to make, but his eco is going to be incredible here. He might just want to play crossbowman, to be honest. I think if Hera plays crossbowman with really good eco, he could probably carry here and win the game for the team. Because Hindustanis don't have... If they're playing camels and scouts, it's not good against crossbowmen. And Burmese as well, into a castle, is not necessarily that strong either against crossbow. Nice work from Yo. We tried to get even more damage in on Leary, and Leary's going to lose another villager this game. Does kill a scout, and Yo loses a scout in the middle, though. And Yo's getting tower rushed as well. So Yo's not in the best position. Ah, this is World Desert Championships? Yeah, okay. And the team that won that tournament was Gamer Legion, right? Who had Hera, Viper, Tato, and Doubt. I think they won against Miguel, Dogao, and Kingston in that final. So Hera's Castle Age isn't as fast, but I think using the Saracen market, he can balance out the resources pretty easily and click up. And just trap checking here, he's got 10 fish traps. That's 10 fishing ships bringing in food on traps, which is big investment. Vivi's got 3. The tower is going to get taken down, though. And Vivi will be in Castle Age significantly faster than Hera, and so he can add the castle and have the Aaron buy out pretty early. So I guess there is the benefit there. So Hera's going for the long-term eco approach. Vivi's going for the army first approach. Either one could work. Very surprised Hera didn't sell his stone. I'm guessing he's going to sell his stone after seeing the opponent's uptime. And we've got a castle there from Vivi. That's an interesting decision. So he drops his castle on Yo's TC. It is actually in range of this tower. If he completes this, it's going to shoot one of the towers down. I'm not sure if it'll shoot this other one down. But there's not many other places you can really cram this thing. And there goes Hera using the market is going to click up. Still no awareness on what Hera's going to do military-wise. And Yo loses pretty much all his scouts again. He can just shift over to this wood line for now. Hera's still just fish traps. Fish traps, fish traps, fish traps. That's not him on stone. That's hard on stone. So, what do you guys think about cav archers here? I actually don't hate Saracen cav archers. Especially because you haven't produced any archers so far. There's still not even a barracks from here, which is surprising. But maybe they think they're fine against Arambai. Leary is on the way to feudal age. Congrats to him. Lix is already in feudal. There's not enough stone for him to get what he needs in there. He is out here on stone, though. So he will maybe be thinking about camel archers. Over here, Yo is also on a little bit of stone. So I think that maybe Vitality's ever so slightly tunnel visioned. Like, the greed from Hera, the eco from Hera is insane. It should start to feel some pain in terms of military at a certain point, but my heart's still expanding with these towers, still being disruptive, still has lots of spears and skirms. He's basically been the only player on the team making military. But he's going to need help. And what's Hera's help going to be? Is he going to help at all? Remember, didn't use the market to sell stone with the Saracens like they so often do. And he's going to drop TC2 and TC3. Wow. Even more boom. But, like, guys, if Heart gets pushed and this TC goes down, the fish is all here. Don't you need a little bit of support for your team here if you're Hera? I know your eco's good, but Arambai are coming. There's going to be... Lix can castle drop. I don't agree with this. I see Hera get away with stuff that I don't necessarily think is oftentimes the right play. Like, here, your team... You need military... Like, I like the 10 fishing ships, but going up to 18 and 3 TCs is crazy greedy. Would have loved to see him play with this eco and go, like, 3 range cav archers or 3 range crossbow. Compete for the map control, protect your allies, and then boom. But he goes for the boom. I kind of feel like Hart just completely forgot that there's resources out here. like Leary's not even looking. Like, they don't know that there's anything here. They don't know that there's anything here. They just think they've got them completely surrounded. But this is an invitation for Lix to castle drop somebody. Lix should go... They're expecting army from Hera, so he's not going to do it. But Lix should drop a castle and just drop it on Leary's TC. Like, there's nothing to stop a castle on Hera's allies' faces right now. But maybe Lix is going to... He's worried about his wood lines, and maybe he wants to get rid of these towers. They should absolutely just be killing one of these players. Hera's got a castle now. Okay, so Hera's going to play Mamelukes. All right, well, there's an army plan. So that explains the heavy food investment as well. He does have a crazy good economy. His teammates haven't died yet. Honestly, I think... Wow, that's crazy. I think they're misreading it. I think they're expecting big army from Hera. This castle should always be on Leary's face. You can just take wood here. The fact that this is a defensive castle is really good for Vitality. Hard has built so many random towers around. I'm not sure I'm in love with that. Heart's going to need some defense, though, because Rams are going to come out here from Vivi. And Vivi's going to start to go for Heart's TC, and he just clicked up to Castle Age. Leary's essentially been given time to breathe. And Camel Archers are going to be out as well. Hera should be able to spam Mamelukes nonstop. It is only out of one castle, and Mamelukes can take down Siege very quickly, so... Who wins? Call it now. Well, if the castle came up from Vitality, I would have said Vitality. Because I think this castle goes on the front, and then Leary and Harder both have problems. But the fact the castle didn't go there, Hera's got a pretty significant boom, and Mamelukes are pretty strong. So... I'm inclined, if I had to pick one, I would say Vitality could figure it out. But as a team, things are way better for LY. Still, you've got second TCs coming up from Yo and from Lix. They definitely seem to remember the sides of the map, which I don't think the other team has. Do they have an answer to the Mamelukes is the question. I mean, they have an answer to the Rams. Or, sorry, the Mamelukes are an answer to the Rams. I'm not sure about how Erenbai perform here. Yeah, Erenbai seem to be struggling because they lack the range, and the Rams go down. Wonder if Hera could somehow reach Imp. Again, there's going to be Camel Archers coming. The Camel Archers are going to be a real problem. Heart's still trying to get more towers up around the outside and be a pain. But it's like Camels, Camel Archers, and Erenbai from LY. Still behind Aniko as a team. And I don't know how Camels perform against Mamelukes. Wouldn't say they're that good. Erenbai are going to run in. Camels come out, though, from Leary. I don't think they were expecting much from Leary. I wasn't expecting him to have that many camels in there. Hard completes the tower. God, dude. Words fail me to describe how much I hate this castle position from Lix. Not only as the Erenbai are getting completely shredded by Vitality. Oh, man. Not only is this castle just not good game sense-wise, because you should be castle dropping the forward players, but it didn't even get rid of the towers. Like, he did it to get rid of one tower. It's horrible. At Vitality's boom, their greed has paid off. Because in that moment where there was map control for LY, they didn't take advantage of it. And now LY is up against stronger military. Castle always needed to go forward. There was no army to stop them whatsoever. And you're right next to them. Like, that's shocking to me. Lix is the guy who's like castle dropping when he normally shouldn't castle drop, right? It's like you're telling Lix, dude, calm down and you're fine. Here's the situation which clearly called for a forward castle, and he just went for the defensive one. I think the answer is because his, maybe because he is in love with the Camel Archer and he didn't want to... It wasn't about the castle position as much as just getting the castle to produce this unit. They probably feel like if they produce the unit, they can't be stopped. But I don't think they realize just how good the eco has been for Hera. Hera's on the way to Imp. And we've got the Mamelukes here. And the Mamelukes will find the stone. That was Leary signaling it to point that out. And Hera in the Imperial Age is going to come as an absolute shock to them. Difference with the fish boom. Yeah, I agree. Like, I don't actually think Heart, as the Erenbai dive in here, I don't think Heart and Leary are necessarily even needed now. But they're going to contribute as well. Camels will be here. Skirms will be here. Mamelukes will clear up all the Erenbai. Back here, we have Camels and Mamelukes loop the whole way around to protect this tower. And Yo's going to take some losses, and Heart will continue his line of painful towers, which are denying these wood lines. Yep, Hurricane 1v3 now. So it's like the window's there to punish the strat. You don't punish it, you get crushed, right? That's what happens against like the really greedy eco plays. The window was there, and I think for LY, it was just the wrong call out. The castle had to be more aggressive. Vivi's was properly defensive. Vivi couldn't move out. It was pretty early Castle Age. But I think Lix's castle needed to go forward. And Hera's having fun right now, dude. Hera is properly gaming. These Mamelukes have 27 kills at the moment. Unreal. And he should be able to have multiple castles as well. Should be able to have a second and a third shortly thereafter. The Mamelukes will get even better upgrades, too. 33 kills, by the way. Mamelukes are costly, so that's tough to get to them, but it's one of those units, if you can get a lot of them, there's very few counters in the game. And Camel Archers will do pretty good damage against them. I actually like the Camel Archer against Mamelukes, because they have more range, and they only cost wood and gold, and the Mamelukes cost food. But Hera's got the food. There's no doubt about that, and he's dropping more castles. And we'll probably see Elite Mameluke come in here as well in a second. Okay. They waited a while. They're trying to get some type of forward castle down. Here comes Vivi now. I think they know they're behind. They need something to damage Leary. Leary can't fight this on his own. They always have to be supported by Hera here, right? Hera's getting coinage. I think to sling his teammates some extra resources. There's the castle. This castle's probably going up. Camels from Grajaras do pretty well against the Arambai, but the Arambai have the hills and the stack. And I take it back. The camels didn't actually do that much at all. And camels apparently not the play against the Mamelukes. Or, sorry, against the Arambai. That castle gives them a real shot. And suddenly, Leary's under a lot of pressure, and a lot of his eco here is disrupted. We still have yet to see Trebs from Hera. But I think he should be able to just add trebuchets, and you can park the Trebs in here and take this castle down. He was a little late to a couple upgrades here, Hera. I think Elite Mameluke could have come in immediately. Armor was delayed as well. He's got that now, and he's got Blast Furnace. So Mamelukes are about to actually feel like they're Imperial Age here in a second. Is this about to be another castle from Vivi? Where is he getting this stone, dude? Is he just buying it? I guess there is some stone and gold over on the outsides. If he can get a castle here as well, Leary has some big problems. Hera's Mameluke's still over this way. And Arambai have actually run underneath Leary's TC. Killing Vills from Hera and from Leary under here. I like it. I like the damage. I thought Lingwon was going to die. I thought they would fold. Don't know where the castle's going to be, though. I thought there was going to be another castle here. There's a castle from Lix over there. Hera's Mamelukes found some damage on the sides. And still waiting for Hera to add Trebs, but he keeps going for more Mamelukes. I guess if you produce Trebs, that's a couple Mamelukes you won't have, right? Oh, man. Camel Archers made it into the back as well. Guys, has LY turned this around? I thought Hera was just going to roll them, but we've yet to see any siege to pressure any of the castles. And the Mamelukes can't be everywhere at once. The Vil count for Vivi's looking pretty good. The Vil count for Lix is looking pretty good. And I don't think Hera's able to be in so many places at once. Sneakily 83 villagers for Lix and multiple castles to produce Camel Archers. Meanwhile, 65 villagers for Leary and 51 for Hart. Hart is about to reach Imp. And he will start to make Trebs, but Yo is also going to be an Imp. Not a single Treb. Like, Leary is as pressure here. And Hera's castles are right here, and we don't have a single Trebuchet to push this castle against the Castle Age player. Oh, man. Oh, man. Castle needs to get quick-walled. Hart, just in the last second, gets the quick-wall down. That castle could have easily been denied. Fortunately for him, the castle's not denied. And Hera's Mameluke's still running around. And Yo is going to get heavy camo. If you could get all the way to Imperial Age camo, that would be pretty insane. 3 minutes till Lix can upgrade his Camel Archers. And I think the next 3 minutes are the key for Hera now, because Hera's not going to be up against very strong Camel Archer mass. Just waiting to see if he can give Leary a little bit of space. Also waiting to see what Hart can contribute with him. This castle might be denied. Leary needs to deny this castle. This castle goes up. He's in such a rough position. He's already in a rough position. I think Vivi, he's going to lose the Erembi, but he's going to complete the castle. And yeah, he'll consider that acceptable. Hera also tries to come in here with the Mamelukes to deny this. I mean, he's getting a lot of kills, but down will go Leary's TC. Still waiting for Siege from Hera. Like, chat, am I crazy? There should be Trebs right here. You patrol your Mamelukes here with 4 Trebs. They can't engage. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Hera's certainly got the castles. He'll deny a castle over here. He's got Hera's got 166 eco, 31 military. He's actually overboomed at this point. The worry for the team is the amount of army, not the type. Army type is pretty good. Hard having skirms, not the most helpful long term if he's up against Imp Camel, but can be really good against Erembi and can still be really good against the Camel Archers. Oh my god, Erembi run in again. I'm impressed with LY. I thought LY was going to super die to Hera being fully boomed like this, and they've been able to just hold on, man. I guess Hera has been sending resources. Yeah. That's if Hera's been slinging, I think the overboom is really nice. Just the lack of siege has been surprising to me. But it's always tough when you want to go unique unit and also go for siege. You have to choose. And here in this instance, like, Yo's able to make Trebs and also able to make camels because he just spams the camels from the stable. And it's going to be Imp Camel too. Imp Camel's really tough. There will be Halb there for Heart, and his Civ's really good at spamming the Halbs, but Hera has to hit and run, and the running part's the problem here. And so Heart's going to lose his Bombard Cannons, Heart's going to lose his Trebs, and Heart's going to lose his castle. And on the left side, we've got Camel Archers from Licks, who's in Imp now, getting Imp upgrades. Again, this big line of castles from Linghua just make it so tough for units to ever move forward. Leary's going to be an Imp. Leary's going to be making his own camels. I'm worried about Heart now. There's just so much pressure here from LY. Best game of the series, man. This has been the first back and forth game. Sometimes these players are so good. I have these expectations on how a game should go, and I'm just like, okay, well, you know, this team gets this position, and you kind of oversimplify it, and you assume that the game's over. But I was wrong on that assessment here. Eventually, the forward castles, right? Just like forward castles all across the map from LY has completely changed this game. And Hart can't really easily support a lot of army production on his own power, and he's got a lot of eco that's about to be exposed. He's got to be careful here. And it's going to be elite Camel Archers as well from Licks. Elite Camel Archers, and he's also going to try Hussars, which is just because he sees these skirms. The thing is, though, guys, Hera's unkillable. Hera himself unkillable, and he's deleted some eco and is going to have like 70 Mamelukes. I don't know if there's an answer for 70 Mamelukes. Like, 70 Mamelukes is insane. So it just all comes down to if they can kill the other players off from Vitality. If they can't, Hera can push this back with the team, but he's going to need his teammates to go siege. Yeah, nice hold. Yeah, and if it's a tougher map to trade on, too, because it's really tough to drop markets, and there's not a lot of space. But yeah, trade could eventually happen. I actually saw a game where people used trade cogs on this map once, but I doubt we'll get there. Yeah, it's still a lot. You just need fortifications everywhere, so these Mamelukes can't pass. Shatras coming in for Leary, so the food cost in his camels will be cheaper. Your Jara camels do additional bonus damage. He still only has 13 camels, though. And there goes Hera with the Mamelukes. Crazy stack of Mamelukes. Mamelukes just delete everything, man. I like the decision to run underneath the castles, because otherwise you're giving the opponents too much time and power. Could get risky, though. I mean, both these castles could be garrisoned. I don't know where Vivi's going, though. Vivi's going to drop a... Okay, he's going to drop another one, which I thought could maybe be denied. Camel Archers and Lycav over on this side. Imp is about to be in for Vivi, which I kind of forgot Vivi wasn't an Imp this whole time, to be honest. And Yo's done a good job with a healthy amount of Imperial camels to hold. And Vivi still hasn't lost his castles. Where's the siege? I don't get it, man. You got like this unkillable death ball. Protect it and push the castles. Okay, we got bombard cannons from Hart. So he's going to be the siege player. They got to get rid of these fortifications. There's so many of them, particularly over here. And what's the first thing that Vivi does in Imp? Siege. He's also going to go elite Arambai. So the Arambai will be stronger than they were. Oh my god, the Camel Archer mask got found and trapped in the corner by Skirms, Mamelukes, and Heavy Camels. What a find for Team Vitality. Oh, they just got so much more army right now. Hera's got 68 Mamelukes. You got 80 military for Hart. That's mostly trash units. Leary doesn't really have that much military, but the military from Hera and Hart is insanely high. And Hera doesn't care about these castles. And the Mamelukes, it takes quite a few shots from the castles to kill them as well. Oh, big fight. Elite Arambai's here. Arambai needed to get rid of the Halbs, though. The Halbs need to disappear. If the Halbs are gone, maybe the camels can go in. They're going to commit to it. The camels were able to glide around and through there, which is hard to get a read on, and I think that was a huge clear-up. The Arambai killed 50 units in that fight, and everything's melting, and wow! I thought Vitality had just won the game because the military counts, but what amazing engagement. Also could be the Arambai, because of the way their darts hit different targets, could have contributed nicely for the... I can't speak all of a sudden. Versus the Mamelukes as well. I think it was mainly just deleting the trash out of the equation. Hera was over on this side last time that there was a good fight. But he's over here now. Also have some random raids back here. Nice job from Lix. These Lykev have killed 10 villagers. Look how many castles are on this map, guys. What a great game. But the trade route... It's a weird one because you're trading at half the distance you would in a normal game. So you don't get near the payoff for gold income from trade. So keep an eye on the amount that teams have on gold. Leary's got 41 on gold. Trying to keep a close eye on it. I can actually show you how many resources are left on the map as well. I don't know exactly where it all is, but 16k gold with 4 players isn't really that much at this stage. I still think LY's just got so much time because they have so many castles along the middle. It probably shouldn't allow Leary to take this gold at the moment. But man, what a banger of a game. What a banger of a game. But I thought they had the position. Like, that was the best case scenario for them in terms of the Mameluke positions, Vitality. It was like 70, right? This is before having to add trade and everything. And they didn't win the game there. And now the Camel Archer mass is only going to rise higher. The Arambai mass is only going to rise higher. And Hera is running past this long line of castles. I mean, this is 3 castles he's going to run directly through. Trying to get into the trade route, I think. Look at, Dock Block, Siege Workshop, Gate, Siege Workshop, Siege Workshop. He's bringing back all the Imp Camels. He's funneling all that pressure towards another castle. This is where their trade's going to be. They're even adding the trade building, which increases the speed of the trade. Hera's running through, or wants to. Yo's quick walling. That's incredible from Yo. That is incredible from Yo that he did not allow him through there. Still big fights over on this side. Hera does have some of the Mamelukes over there to support. Leary's losing some ground. And the Mamelukes are going to die. Well, maybe not, because they get wedged in here. But the team's going to tap out because they have nothing left. Ling Wan wins the game. And Leary just cannot beat these Camel Archers. Hart is kind of dead. Like, Hart is going to lose everything over here. And what a crazy back and forth game. That game literally had everything. We had the Vil fights at the start. We had the castle drops at the tower rushes and everything. I think... there were 2 questions in my mind on, like, decisions throughout the game. I really thought, like, the greed from Hera was going to get punished, with forward castles from LY, right? You got full map control. I thought it'd be a forward castle. Remember, I saw this castle and I was like, man, that could have gone on Leary's face. That could have gone on Hart's face. So that's where I thought the game was going to slip away from LY. But it ended up being the castles that ended up changing this game in the end anyways, right? Like the continuous castle drops and the fact that there was never really any siege. Now, Hera had a lot to do because he was trying to sling and get his allies' resources to come into this game. He's one of those where he's going to have incredible KD and incredible resources collected. I wonder if Hera could have just stalled Mameluke production for a second and made 4 trebs and just take these castles. Like, all this bled directly into where Leary was rebooming. It's easy for me to say from up here, right? From Hera's perspective, he's just like maxing out on Mamelukes all the time. But I think all the way back to when Hera was an early imp and he's got elite Mamelukes. I mean, we got 2 people on the other team that are in... Like, look at this position right here. You don't have heavy camo yet for Yo. That takes 90 seconds. Imp is 3 minutes away from Licks. And for Vivi, it's probably like 10 because he still hasn't clicked up. So, like, from this position, I expect Hera to mass Mamelukes, mass 4 trebs, and then all these castles start to fall. That's what I was expecting. And it felt like the Mamelukes just weren't... It felt like they were raiding a lot, right? They're running around. I would have liked to see him mix in some siege. But again, it's like... Trebs take so long to produce. Probably from his perspective, he couldn't justify that. But a tough game because Hart and Leary were compromised. Basically, you had LY a bit closer as a team. But what a great game. What a great game. That was really fun to watch. So greed from Hera didn't pay off. Maybe some things to learn there, but I think it was a very winnable game for Vitality. It's the first game in this show match which felt very winnable for either side the whole way through. Okay, here we go. Welcome in, guys. We got Black Forest. And in the best of 7, Vitality is hoping to tie it up. Lix wants a Vil War. And there is a Croc waiting right here in the opening, and he is going to run at that. So he has picked the Goths. The main reason you pick the Goths here, guys, is because you get Loom for free and instant. And that means you're not down a villager from researching Loom, like Hart's going to be. And actually, Lix is luring him into the Croc. And the Croc didn't... Oh, the Croc is chasing! Oh, no! And that's right before Loom as well. Disaster! Absolute disaster. Right before Loom, and Lix is showing up with 3 villagers. Oh, God. Hart is not going to be happy with this start. Villager's going to go down. Guys, Lix backed off the Croc. He saw it was there. He baited Hart to try and get that wall off in the choke point. Vil fighting's happening already. Meanwhile, on this side, Leary's got a forward wall down. Vivi's not doing anything. Vivi's not stopping that, which tells me Vivi might be aggressive later. But that's 2 villagers down for Hart. That's 2 villagers to the Vil losses. But he's down 1 Vil because he also had to research Loom. Hart has 5 Vils and Lix has 8. So really hard for Hart to even produce Vils because he has 3 out of his 5 villagers walking forward to compete for this wall. Usually the response now, if you're Lix, because you know Hart's hurting, is you send more villagers to rush this. That's what he's going to do. I think Hart's going to have a really, really tough game here. But guys, where's Hera's scout? Where's Hera's scout? Hera's scout, like, you should almost always bring your scout in immediately. And his scout didn't come forward, and now it comes forward late. I mean, it's too late. Yo's scout went forward to support. And that's why that second villager went down. I don't know what Hera's scout was doing. Did he push a deer? Or something? But like, that's kind of like Black Forest rules number 1. Maybe he was pretty far away. It didn't look like he pushed in any deer. Over here, you got Leary. Leary's going to try and sneak, guys. And that villager over here could potentially lead to some military later on. Vivi was pushing deer. Vivi was not competing for the wall. And yeah, Leary's got a villager through, guys. But the villager might walk past the scouts. Oh, no. No way. No, he's... Okay, did they see the movement of the zebra? They didn't see the movement of the zebra. Okay, so Hart's had a rough start. He's going to compete for the forward wall. Thank you, Elevid. Welcome back. Vivi's just walling this. Vivi's thinking, okay, everything's fine. We're all good here. Oh, actually, there's another sneak here. And now the Croc is going after Vivi as well, which is really bad for Vivi. And Vivi's going to lose a Vil. This villager from Leary is also going to die. But guys, they're all forgetting about this Vil. Like, they're not going to look for this one because they thought they killed the other sneak. Because rarely do people sneak with 2. And actually, the bigger deal is the only scout that exists for Team LY is the scout over here from Lix, and Lix is never going to come over here. So as long as Leary doesn't lose this Vil, he could build up some military, and he could affect everyone behind these walls. For as bad a start as it was for Hart, I think Leary's edge right now with this villager could change the game. You could go forward dock to disrupt the fish boom from Yo. You kind of have Hera in a position where he can get that free boom. And if Yo gets disrupted and Hera doesn't, Hera could get to a pretty incredible economy here. All right. Elevid, don't hate me for the timing on this because you just resubbed for 59 months. But the next person to subscribe, this villager, which will change this whole game and potentially be a legend video, this villager will be named after you. Okay? This guy's got 29 HP. He's got traps the size of rocks. And his name is the Crocs. The Crocs, the villager with the traps of rocks. Spy on vacation. We're so late there. I'm so sorry. The Crocs, thank you very much. Perfect. All right. So there's Crocs. Villager this way here. I'll name you here. Spy, I got you. Is that really what works, guys? Are you guys that... Is that it? We get subs after that? Whatever. Villager's just still hanging out here, standing around. Yo doesn't have any clue. He's Sicilians, by the way. Thank you, no one of consequence. I'll name you after this villager. Oh, God, I can't. I'm too big. Oh, God, they're going back. No, I can't. It's not... It changes his name every time he changes an action. Oh, God! When he goes to a builder or a hunter, it renames him, so I can't do it while they're actively doing stuff. Yo didn't do the best job there. Leary's going to take this opportunity to sneak down here. Thank you, Polar Bear. Yo's obviously going fast castle. What is Leary's plan? Hart has walked the whole map to take this pond. He walked the whole way. I remember seeing that villager. That spy on vacation. This villager is genuinely on vacation. You can't be too picky. You know, this isn't quite the ocean, but you get a little nice pond-side resort there. Okay, Leary is dealing with a crocodile, and he's going to build a dock here. Will Yo see this? If Yo comes to take any of these other shorefish, he'll actually see this. And he's almost done with this shorefish. Warrior Smith, first time on the stream. Welcome, welcome. Oh, we got Vil fighting over here. Lix is building a gate through his opponent's wall. And he's brought militia as well. Oh, God, disaster for Hart. And it's open. It's open. Disaster for Hart. It's going to be man-at-arms against Vils. What went wrong? Elix was Vil fighting it. I was too focused on naming villagers like an idiot. This is a crazy game. Leary's actually adding a fishing ship there. But he's definitely going to add some navy and disrupt Yo. And Hart's like, help? The thing is, this isn't Hera's fault, right? Like, Hart's job was to keep this walled. And Hera was to boom and carry later. So you might need to deviate your plan, though, if you're Hera. He clearly doesn't want to. He's still adding fishing ships. You still hope. I mean, even if you save Hart at this point, he's going to be behind. That was really nice micro, though. You still kind of hope, I think, that Hart isn't going to be needed and that Hera can carry. Yo, we'll see this. Etchit is gifting subs like an absolute god. Thank you, Etchit. Hypes in chat. Double dock from Leary to take out the fish boom from Yo. Yo is going for a stable. He wants the food for the knights, but he was not expecting this. So, yeah, I think it's a close game. Because Hera's got a free boom. So Hart, kind of like Lix in that other game, which they didn't end up winning, but you just got to soak up the pressure, take one for the team, essentially. What really should be happening, though, is Vivi should be being told about all this, and Vivi's got to go kill Leary, because Leary's not stonewalled. I love this stonewall from Hera, though. He's doing this for Leary because Leary's fighting on the water. And he is actually going to take the pond away from Yo. Meanwhile, Tower Rush, Man-at-Arms, like continuous pressure here from Lix. But Hera's going to be able to stack up the fish traps and have the super cheap farms with the Teutons. So his economy should be really strong. This pressure ever gets to Hera, though, it's a problem. I would advise a wall here if you're Hera. I would advise a wall here as well. Might be a little bit too late if they don't wall this faster, but Vivi's not in Castle Age yet. Scouts are coming from Yo too. So Yo is just going to lose his pond, and he's going to bring even more military. Might even bring a Vill, and yeah, there's the villager. So he's going to siege push Hart. And if Hera's just going to straight boom and he's not going to add any army, Hart might be defeated this game. Against Lix, it's one thing. He's already taking losses, right? But against Lix and Yo, it's a complete other thing. And they just don't know that Yo is bringing that villager. Oh, man. This is going to be a fun game. Yeah, they don't know about the Siege Workshop. All right, guys. I want you to guess. Hart right now has 33 population. Keep in mind, he does have the safe fishing ships. But I want you to guess Hart's population at the 20-minute mark. Actually, let's take it a step further. Let's go like 22-minute mark. Because whatever wall he is set up right now is not going to be enough. He's at 33 pop. I'm guessing he's going to be... Like, any of the Vills over here are going to die. These Vills... He's got 14. He'll probably get a notification and run. I'm going to say he's going to have like 23 pop at that time. Keep in mind, he's not going to be able to produce. Yeah, like, he has to try and run, but then there's always army waiting for him. It's really bad. Leary's going for another stonewall here. Let's not forget he still has that villager down here. He could do something later. So Leary's stonewalling because Vivi's castle dropping to pressure. Leary's the feudal age player, though, so his stonewalls won't be quite as strong. Hera adding the stonewall is still very nice. Great escape from Hart. Yo didn't track that well. And honestly, I expected a bit better there from Yo. You know those Vills are going to run. I don't know where he went, but he allows Hart to escape with a lot more than I was ever expecting him to. Is anyone else also bothered because their prediction got ruined now? What did I say? 23 pop? My prediction's looking pretty bad now. He's going to lose his TC. I assumed Yo would follow there. Captain predicted 33. Okay, well, you're looking pretty good. Art's going to lose his TC. He's going to lose all his houses. He's going to lose the will to live. But he's still in this game. And the forward Vil. Crocs? Crocs? No, Crocs! Crocs survives! Ooh, do you convert the Vil or do you convert the ships? He's trying to convert the ship and Crocs is... Ah, man. Well, Crocs, thank you. Thank you very much for your contribution. Siege will push this way. Hera could, in theory, get redemption. But Hera's kind of being asked to defend both sides right now, which isn't great, right? Like, his boom gets delayed and disrupted because he had to stonewall one side. His boom gets delayed and disrupted because he has to go monks the other side. It's still a really good economy. But it's not exactly what it would be. It's not anywhere close to what it would be had he not been disrupted. Leary's going to try and go monks. He's going for more stone walls. He's going for a tower. I mean, that can work pretty well. And, like, Hera's got 65 Vils, so... 65 Vils, and he's actually respecting the military the opponent's making this time to hold the map control for the team. But they did lose this whole section, which is a problem. I don't think... Alex says, how badly do you think Hera's being blamed for not helping right now? I don't think any of this is on Hera. I think this is just how the cookie crumbles. Hera is actually helping. Had he not added the stone walls, they might have been through faster. And I think also adding the monk on the other side has kept Hart in a better situation. We got the tower defense, and we have the monks from Leary. But it doesn't seem like Vivi really cares. If Vivi's just going to run underneath this tower and dive in, somehow that monk survives. But Leary's monk defense completely falls flat. And Mangonel got converted with redemption, so that gets picked off now. But these units are going to run through, and Leary was not expecting this. Whole game plan was to stop it at the door, right? And now these units have made it in, and they could go a bunch of different directions, right? They could go to Hera's base, which is being communicated. So Hera's trying to panic wall just in case. And Leary panicking up a TC here as well. Down go the Vills. And I think Vivi will be pretty happy with how much damage he's done. He needed to find that damage. Now he could probably boom a little bit more. But he does lose some units to conversions there, and maybe that's the end of the attack. There's going to be more coming in this way, though. And this disrupts Hart's fish boom. By the way, Hart's pop was like around like 33, 34 at the minute mark we mentioned. Which, again, could have been worse. Problem now, guys, is Vivi just gets to straight boom. So Vivi's going to go TC 2, 3, 4. He'll be untouched for a long time. So I know he's at 40 Vills now, but I'd expect he might even go to a 5th TC. Yeah. Give me a 6th TC. Come on, Vivi. Dude, seriously, this is 6 TC territory. You got to catch up, and you have nothing else to do. Oh, sorry, this is Lix. My bad. You know what I meant. The goth player. Lix. Thank you, chat. Thanks for paying attention. Poor Hart's eco's already so bad, and then he's going to lose his fish boom. But I guess for Lix, you do need to have farmers to sustain production from all the TCs. Hart also lost like all his houses too, which is so annoying. I think what they should do, and professional Black Forest players out there watching, tell me, say agree if you agree with what I'm about to say. Big fight over here. I think you need to forward Stonewall on Hera's side. Big conversions for Leary. My God. Like, forward Stonewall's here. What, you have the army? This needs to be your own wall. And stop them from being able to just delete these walls and reclaiming the territory. That's a nice hold from Leary there. Nice conversions. He is a bigger army than Lix does now. Sorry, Vivi. And the eco's pretty similar. Hart also starting to drop town centers now. But Hera has 140 eco. The question is, like, what do you do with that? I don't have any easy answers there. I think that maybe you just play Siege Onager Halb. I think a lot depends on the imp timings on this side. Like, Bohemians can get Hufnitsa. Turks can get, as Leary goes through over here. Turks can get the 14 range bombard cannons, and they're right next to each other. So imp timing on this side is so important here. It'd be very Hera thing to just go like full paladin. And you've got the food as well, so I think he'd go full paladin. All right, no judgment. I got a question for viewers. Again, no judgment. I will speak my opinion. Do you think cramming 50 fishing ships into one tiny pond is awesome? Or do you think it's kind of stupid? I think you're going to have people who love it. You're going to have people who hate it. Okay, both. I think it's kind of dumb. Like, I'm not saying it's dumb to do. It's really strong. But it's just super silly, dude. It's super silly. And how, like, one tiny pond can have this big of an effect on an eco is just wild to me. It's probably both. But it seems like a lot of you guys enjoy it. Yeah, Hera's imp time will be insane. Hera's eco will be insane. And it all goes back. Like, this pond got disrupted, so Yo couldn't do the same, right? And Draco says high risk, high reward. I don't really think it's high risk, though. You get gifted a pond, it's only high risk if, like, there's a sneak. I don't think it's high risk. It's a no-brainer. Like, it's so good that you have to do it if you have a pond. Oh, defensive castle here from Leary. Or rather, from Vivi. And so Leary's not able to push. He does lose a decent amount there. And we got Onager from Hera. I don't think he's committing to Siege Onager. I think he just wants to open the door here. And by door, I mean cut the wood line. And then he's going to have the Cav Flood behind it. Didn't click Cavalier right away, so Paladin will be delayed. I think he probably thinks he has Cavalier on the way, so that's a slight mistake. This timing's important because there's a lot of space over here that the opposing team is locked down. Will Vivi be aware of this? He's starting to drop outposts here. Because Hera's an imp. They got to know something's coming. And look at them. Outpost here. And they're outposting here. And they're looking. And Town Watch is going to come in. And voila. The trees are being taken down. Now they know. Thing is, it looks like Yo wants to attack over here. I don't know if Yo... Like, Yo's telling Vivi to open this right now. I don't know if Yo is really prepared for what direction this is going to go. Hera's going to just cut right around and come this way to go after Vivi. But where's Yo going to send support, and what is he going to make? Again, like, I think if you think about how this game played out, flanks don't matter right now. It's pockets, right? And as we see the walls there to stop the Cavalier, Hera's just going to cut through again. Hera got a free fish boom, and Yo lost his fish boom. And now we're seeing the differences. Fish boom is insane. Castle behind here from Vivi. Barracks behind here from Yo. He's going to play into Halb. And Hera cutting as fast as he can. Paladin 2 minutes away. And he cuts, yeah, quite honestly, as fast as you could ask someone to cut. And now he's trapped in the trees for a second. And he runs through and he sees a castle. He sees Halbs. He sees Janissaries. And he's kind of hitting a wall here. Nice defense from LY, to be honest. Hera could end the game fast. And then over on this side, let's not forget that we've got Lix, who's fully boomed as the Goths. He has one wall to go through, and he accesses Hera's eco. Still, you're going to need to be a lot of Halbs to deal with the Onagers. Especially if they stack up like this. Like, the Onagers can flatten them. Yeah, Paladins can still beat this with a couple Onagers to back it up easily. And they can go right in towards Yo's base as well. Okay, Hard deletes his wall to take this gold. Which is super funny because he doesn't know any of this is here. What are we doing? Hard, what are we doing, bro? I mean, Hera, he's expecting Hera to be there with Paladins, but like... It's nostalgic, guys. The gold tastes like home. All right, Hera keeps pushing. Paladin upgrade's about to hit. Yo just learned his lesson there. He realizes Hera's going for the attack rounds, and he's being more patient with his micro. Paladin's in now. 6 shots there from Hera, though. And he goes in, and it's Teuton Paladins, and Teuton Paladins will shred. And all the production's coming from behind, which is awkward. Vivi's actually taking down the Onagers. I like that move. Get rid of those 3 Onagers. Hera won't have more here. And then the Halbs can maybe do their thing. On this side, Hera's also engaging. Lix didn't have Halb ready. I guess he wasn't an imp yet. He is going to get perfusion, so he can spam a lot. And he did build a castle back here, so Hera can't run through. So Hera's kind of hit a wall. Meanwhile, Leary getting Hufnitsa. So he's going to start to push here. And he's getting Hufnitsa. Vivi's been really compromised and frustrated by all this. The player we need in the game for vitality is Hart. And you just worry that Leary and Hera are going to get stretched too thin because Hart is really far behind right now. Like, if it's full Halb spam on this side with Rams, how does Hera stop that? I guess, okay, Leary's brought some hand cannons over, so that's good teamwork. And Leary did also take this castle down, which is really good work. Now, Hera still hasn't lost his Paladins, which is also amazing. Vids wants Hera to go Teutonic Knight. I mean, Hera didn't make trebuchets in the previous game, which I really wanted to see. I doubt we're going to see Teutonic Knights in a serious game. I think what you rely on instead is you got to get Hart to Imp and Hart onto Champion. If you get Hart into Champion, you're fine. Leary bringing in some hand cannons for now is maybe enough of a stopgap. And adding the walls is really good too. The Bomber Cannons have 14 range now for Vivi. He will need the support. in front if Hera's here with Paladins, though. Hera's going to be contributing Paladins to both sides. Really hard for him to get over here with Teutons, though. Like, after this group of 27, almost impossible for him to send another 30 in quickly. He's trying to just get Leary some time here, so Leary's able to get rid of these castles. Paladins will dive, force some quick walls. Paladins will go towards a lot of gunpowder. I think that's acceptable, though, because Leary's taking all the castles. That's to set up Leary. What's happening on the other side, though? All right, back to what we said earlier about the fish boom thing, because I was saying how strong, and now it's a no-brainer. This is the weakness of it. They get to your pond, and that's 50 eco in one location that you're just going to lose right away. And this castle from Lix is so good, and Hera's Paladins run right into Halbs. Hart is also tech switching here, right? So, like, if these barracks go down, he's going to lose his upgrades. He's going to lose his numbers. I think that castle's going to go up. Hera is going to drop his own castle. Vivi's lost a lot of grounds over here. Still a push coming from Leary, but Hart and Hera going down on this side. Again, I don't think any big mistakes from Hera. I think this is always how the game was going to go. He had a window to try and win the game with Leary, and it was going to take some catching up from Hart. It's going to be so difficult for them right now. They had their window. They haven't been able to win the game yet. And poor Hart. He's got no space, dude. He's in Hera's base, right? Like, remember, they lost his base, so there's nowhere to move. Hera getting horse color as he starts to transition into farms because all of his fishing ships are going down. But again, where do you have space for farms in all this? Leary has had a great game. And he continues to have a great game. He continues to push Vivi. And maybe can kill Vivi, but he's going to have to because it looks like his teammates are dying. It just hurts for Hart that he's not even on champion yet. And it hurts even more that, like, just after that, we're just going to see hand cannon from Lix. So he's just switching to hand cannon and Huskarl, which is going to be fine against champion. Why does Vivi have... Huh? How did that happen? Where is he going, bro? Just passing. I don't know where he came from, but he just walked through everything and actually survives. And now it's GG. I mean, I think it says a lot that those Vils could just walk through the entire enemy base unscathed. I'm sorry, what? Huh? They must have started... That's so funny. Okay. This stupid game. So, Vivi says, I need to trade. I need to get Vils up here. He clicks them up here. He expects them to path this way. But the game says the shortest path is this way. And it must have been ever so slightly shorter. So he walks all the way through the enemy base, through the enemy trade, through the fight, past the castle. And they do make it to their destination. And then the GG's called. I'm just looking at it. I guess technically that was maybe a little bit shorter. That's... Or was the path blocked? Oh, this was blocked. And they would have had to go like... Oh. Wait, was it blocked? I don't even remember. There must have been something blocked. Oh, this was blocked. So they would have had to go like all the way back and... Yeah, so they'd have to go like this way, and then this way, and then this way, and then this way, and that's why that was the shorter path. Okay. Damn. Ling Wan up 3-1. Shush Factor says, what went wrong for Vitality? Hart died too easily. Yeah, Hart had a really rough start. But also, I think Hera needed to maybe compromise his boom ahead of time to prop up Hart. Right? Like, Hart loses 3 Vils in Dark Age. Hart's always going to get pushed by Goths in Feudal Age. I think you have to expect that, and I think you have to open with the stable. I think if Hera opens with the stable and does everything else, he keeps Hart's position a little bit more. And just, like, keep Hart is maybe 3 minutes away from... 3 minutes faster to getting to a fight in this stage of the game, and then maybe they contribute, and then they can hold. There's an argument, of course, that delays Hera's boom. But yeah, Hart completely losing his side simply put the game in a situation where LY just needed to hold an early imp and they would win. It makes it very clear for them to understand that as well. I thought Leary had a really good game. I think compromising Yo's boom was good. Like, from Hera's perspective, he went to what? 50 fish traps? Let's say if he adds the stable like I'm saying, you get only 20, right? 20 or 25. Well, guess what? That's still 20 or 25. You're ahead of your opponent. You're always ahead of Yo with that. And then Hart doesn't die. So I think if you have like a bit of a better balance there, Hart gets more support. Hera still has an epic boom. Hera still gets to Paladin Onager. Hera still has his window. And then at this stage, right here, Hart's alive and can spam to support the team. They're killing here. So they just needed that little bit more on the right side, and I think that's what they missed. But LY is playing very good, man. LY is playing very, very good, asking big questions of Vitality today. And the games have been really high level, so. All right, so game 5 now. It's best of 7. Unless something's changed and it's become a playoff 7, but I believe best of, where LY right now is ahead of who I consider to be the favorite, Vitality. We got Vitality on the left side. We got Leary as the Japanese. We got Hera right behind him as the Persians. Way to the north, and importantly, far away from the water, we have Hart, who's playing as the Malians. Hart is up against Yo, who's playing as the Jurchens, which I would not have expected, to be honest. On the yellow, then, we got Vivi playing as the Georgians. And then in front of him, we've got Lix playing as the Armenians. Now, a couple things come to mind, right? Armenians can get Longsword and Feudal. So, with Armenians getting Longsword and Feudal, big threat on lands, and you have to respect it. It's tough because the Armenians also have a good navy. And yes, I know your eyes are probably... You think your eyes are deceiving you, but we have hilly water over here. So hill bonuses on water on Cape of Storms. And there's also dolphins, which my marine biologist fiance is not in love with, but it is what it is. Last time Hera played this map, he went like fast castle with like 10 fish behind. And I think LY would probably be aware of that. I'm curious how that will go this time. Hera was actually playing as the Georgians, which Vivi is here. Vivi is on the way to Feudal Age. Hera has not clicked up to the Feudal Age yet at all. And yes, I guess the hills are essentially waves, which is because it's the Cape of Storms. But yeah, wondering how much investment we're going to have on water. Because if you underinvest on water, 2 people are going to lose their fish. So it's almost always the flank's job to not lose water. I think in a typical case, you would expect Leary to be going for archers. But Leary, he might actually lean a little bit more defensive on lands, and he might play more aggressive on water. Hart has brought militia to the north. He's running into walls. So he's going to play man-at-arms. I think they saw Jurchens from Yo and was like, Jurchens aren't an archer civ, and this is typically where people play archers. So he wants to be more aggressive. Now, I've said this before. When you try and run through the woodlines on this map, sometimes you go too far, and there's not a path back, except from where you came from. So Hart's trying to decide where he wants to go. And you kind of want value from your attack, so he's just going to attack the house there. And his scout's going to find out he does actually have a path to make it this way, but he's going to end up getting to Lix that direction. So yeah, I think Yo's going Fast Castle Grenadiers or Lancers. You kind of have the option for both. Scouts are going to be coming out from Vivi. Hera also in Feudal Age, so he's not been nearly as greedy as he was last time. He's also going to be going Scouts. Lix Could have seen that villager and maybe killed that villager, but he misses it. Lix is going triple docks, no military on land. He's going on wood and gold and towering, so he is hard committing onto water. And actually, he's so hard committing to wood and gold, he's going to lose 4 of his sheep to Leary's scout as Leary's passing on through. Art still repairing the house, or still attacking the houses. Yo will need to pull the weak villager, maybe place another house right away. And Yo lets him through? Oh my god, there's another tree there. I didn't realize there was a stump behind there. Okay, so Yo says calculated. Lets him through. Archery range, blacksmith. So the plan is probably grenadiers. He does need to keep this army out. And meanwhile, we got hawks from Lix. Hawks from Lix, guys, are actually going to make it to Hera's fish. Hera's not expecting to have any disruption on water. Again, that's kind of Leary's job, but because Leary's playing archers instead of water, Hera's going to feel it there. And that's not something Hera's prepared to deal with himself. Hart runs into the TC here. Hart is, like, really confused. He wants to stop Yo from getting up, but Yo will be on the way to Castle Age. Thing is, he doesn't have a lot of food, though, right? Like, he's not... What's he going to be able to produce? He'll probably use the market, but... Also, all this army could easily go to his allies. And speaking of, Hera is here. Leary is here. Hera didn't end up losing that many fishing ships in the end. So they're not working very efficiently. And Leary runs into the TC. And Vivi's just waiting right now. And he's going to get bloodlines. If Vivi has bloodlines, he can engage against this no problem. And Vivi's got more fishing ships on the way. Because his team is winning water. I think this is really, 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 really bad for Team Vitality that they don't have water locked down. Because, like, Hera with a fish boom is insane. But he might not have that secured. I think there's going to be... Like, if Lix was doing a slightly better job, he's killing Hera's fish right now. And the fishing ships are not staying alive for Leary. Where Leary and Hera have the score and where they want to win this game is because they have a lot of land army right now. Remember, there's no land army from Lix. There's no land army from Yo either. But there will be. He's about to be in Castle Age. Vivi's still being fairly patient here. Hart's army is also around, so it's going to be 3 armies lurking around Vivi's base. And Vivi's actually going forward. Castle Age for Yo. 12-26. He's going to play Cav Archers. And here comes Man-at-Arms. Here comes Archers. We got Scouts as well. 3 different players hitting Vivi at the same time. Why did Vivi go forward? I think if Vivi knew these armies were coming in, if he just kept the Scouts at home, he could probably engage against this with these upgrades and probably clear it. But now he's pretty far committed forward. So he's not going to be able to go home. Nice engagement there for Vitality. Hera's still going to have fish problems, but he is on the way to Castle Age. Leary's also going to run by. He might be able to get down here. Ooh, Leary is making it close to Vivi's fish. Leary being able to sneak by is so important there. Hera getting hit on his stables. Villagers are exposed. He'll lose 1. He's going to lose 2. And his stable gets delayed, and there could be more losses. And then Yo's going to start to mass up the Cav Archers and already has some units moving out. Tower went down for Vivi. Really messy, though. Like, Vivi's eco is awful. His fish are barely working. And his villagers are... He's got more mule carts than villagers on some of these woodlines. It's really rough. Hera lost the Vill, but kept the scout trapped in there, which is cheeky. Still has scouts to deal with, though. And the scouts get quick-walled out again. Nice hold from Vitality. And nice pressure as well. Like, they did a lot of pressure on lands. The worry for me would be that Yo is massing Cav Archers, but... They no longer have, like, this super... easy fish boom that I thought that, like LY rather, never doesn't have this super easy fish boom, and Lix had to come home. Lix still not killing. Like, look at this. Hera's got all these fishing ships, and Lix is not able to manage it. He's so distracted on land right now. Vivi fixing his economy a little bit, mixing in the farms, can send his fishing ships back to work. That's all good. Leary's fish may be exposed and will go down. Hera's fish maybe eventually will go down as well. It's a close game. It's a really close game. Yeah, Gabby, you can garrison mule carts and towers, castles, TCs, transport ships. Vivi's kind of like me, though. I really struggle to move those things around because I'm just instinctively building new lumber camps and mining camps all the time. It's like he's got vills on golds here, but there's not even a mule cart there. It's an interesting one because no team clearly has won the water and no team has clearly won the lands. A lot of the military at the moment for Team LY is all water. So I think, like, you know, Leary's and Hera aren't able to fish freely, but I think if Leary just goes and snipes these fish with some leftover navy and he doesn't give his opponent a free fish boom, it could be really solid. We've got a knight here from Hera. Lix is so exposed here. He's done a good job for the team, but him having to drop 2 towers to defend from knights, not what situation he would have wanted to be in. And cav archers are coming this way from Yo. But there are town centers everywhere. I really like Hera's fish. Or, sorry, not his fish. I like his farm transition after losing the fish. And he's Persian, so there's no civ that's better at spamming those vills than spamming those knights. Vivi still hasn't clicked up. Vivi's just spamming lots of spearmen. Vivi's seemingly having a little bit of a rough game with the balance after the chaos. Still have this navy down here from Leary, which he might make it back into Vivi's fish boom. Hera's still running underneath towers. And there's 2 players here, but there are a couple spears around. There are other towers as well. And cav archers from Yo finding some damage over at Hera's base. Hera's got to run backwards now to come deal with this. And archers from Leary are going backwards. I actually thought that this was the enemy for a second. I think Leary is hoping to find this. Yeah, like Hearts come back home as well to support Hera. And they can find those cav archers. That's really good. Yeah, I think Leary being able to just clear up the fish in the back from Vivi will be huge here. Because then Hera's got a big lead with like a no fish game. Hera's already done so well at the start of this game in Castle Age with the Knights. The only reason Vivi's really able to hang with him is because he's got the uncontested fish boom. It's been a good game from Yo with the cav archers. He's got a good base setup. He's still massing them. He's still sending them forward, getting bloodlines soon, and applying pressure to the right player. Because Hera, you don't want to have this uncontested boom. But I think for Yo, bloodlines is going to come in a little late. Bloodlines is 8 seconds away, and ballistics is already in. And as the units try and run around, and will run around a little bit, it's good disruption, but Yo still loses a lot of CA here. Hera's still streaming in knights. He's got knights everywhere, dude. And Vivi still can't make his own knights. And Vivi's going to lose his fish. It's huge. Great job from Leary to keep focusing on water. I think Lix could have maybe played a little bit better with the water management this game. But it's asking a lot because you're receiving so much pressure on the front. And Leary's here with crossbows now. Sniping vills on the farms. Good value. And Yo's cav archers might kill an extra villager or 2, but look how weak these CA are. That's 79 HP out of a possible 420. So weak. Fish are alive for Vivi. So, I mean, there's that. So maybe his fishy ships will continue to work. But, oh god, knights make it in as well. Hera gets through the wood line. Hera's just had... Like, he hasn't actually had that many knights, but he's got some crazy good value from the knights that he's gone for. Every time I'm seeing a knight, it's into the exposed eco. And to be honest, it's the same for Hart as well. Like, Hart's army has gotten great value. Leary's army getting great value. And, again, if one team doesn't have that free fish boom with, like, that player who can come in and carry with a lot of knights, here come the knights now from Vivi. Maybe that's going to be the difference. Hera, again. There are some spears this time, though. The fishing ships, needs to stay alive. And will just stay alive there for Vivi. So, yeah, maybe if Vivi can support and get the clear up, it could be worth it. They still will have the Navy to clear up the shoreline and fish boom. And more cav archers in the back from Yo. Damn. LY's impressive. Like, right when I think it's going to turn around for Vitality, Mr. Yo especially just sneaks an army into a location. Like, this must be so annoying for Hera. This is like the 4th time that these Cav Archers have somehow made it to his eco. So it's right when I think Hera's going to explode with this massive boom lead, he gets pressured. To be fair, though, Hart is reacting perfectly to defend again. But now the Knights are going to run in, and they're going to be able to meet up here. There's some Cav Archers from Leary, by the way. I don't know if that's been located. There's a TC from Vivi. Knights are underneath Hera's TC. Cav Archer's still running around. +2 armor's not in yet for Vivi, but he's just going to engage because there's other things happening. There's going to be crossbows back here that he's trying to clear as well. And you could tell Hart was not microing that army. Hart was microing this other army. Maybe also looking at his economy, but that's a big loss for Hart because that's a lot of pressure coming in on Hera now. The amount of times Hera's been pressured on this gold is too high. He really needs a TC on another gold. There he goes with that. Close game. Eco-wise, Vitality's way ahead. Like, all 3 of their players are ahead with Eco. They just need to match the military numbers, and they do that, and they could be okay. Now, the Eco can grow for Lix because he can add more fish now that they're pretty much winning the water. So that's a way to remain competitive there. And in the long term, I should point out that, like, Malians don't get bracers, so they're not the best Arbalest civ for this position. So Hart and team are really going to want to win this game fast on this side. Jurchen Cav Archers can get stronger. Hera was healing up some weak Knights there. How did he get that conversion? That was really far away. He gets lucky, gets the conversion. Yo's still sneaking around, being annoying. Leary knows he's going to come back at some point and is waiting for him. Vivi getting in, being annoying. Killed 5 villagers with those Knights. And now Hera's turn to counter raid, but there's a lot of Knights waiting from Vivi. Does still have a lot of exposed villagers here, but assuming he garrisons and stays garrisoned, he can chase that down. And Hera won't get the raids he wants. Cav Archers, oh, in the back for Leary. Where did they come from? Oh, that's a devastating raid. Oh, man. Seriously, where did they come from? 15 villager kills from the backside. And, oh, that hurts, yo. The game was just started to look like LY were doing it with the fights. And maybe they could recuperate their economies, but 15 vills down to 1 Cav Archer mass is a problem, man. It's the risk of Fast Castle. And I think the biggest thing here really was that Vivi went forward with his scouts. And he took all that damage in feudal. I think had he not lost that tower, lost all those vills, I think his team would have been ahead on water. He would have cleared that army. And it's still going to put up a good fight here, though. Vivi's still trying to get pressure in on Hera, who still doesn't have a lot of military. But he does have a lot of TCs, and he will have the occasional monk. And he's got a big eco to get there. And Cav Archer's still going untracked. I think Yo's chasing them, though. Yo's going to be here. And Hera with some quick walls. And the Cav Archers are here from Leary. Leary's got Cav Archers everywhere. And it's a Vitality trap. Dude, that's so good. That's really well played. I mean, they're not going to completely trap the army, of course. But the Knights took a lot of extra damage. And I just don't think the military's cutting it anymore. Yo's chasing this down, but now he's got crossbows from Hart in the north. These crossbows killed some army, at least, and denied the tower. And Leary will fall back, but Hera's on the way to Imp. Hera being an Imp is a problem. Leary having 30 Cav Archers and 80 villagers is a problem. Hart having 33 crossbows and 80 villagers, also a problem. Basically, you add up everything we see in this game, a giant Ling 1 problem here. I don't know how you turn it around. They don't have, like, a single player with an advantage. Maybe Mr. Yo, because Mr. Yo's got a lot of Jurchen CA, but they're all kind of split up now. In so many different positions here. What's really nice is you have... The Cav Archers are Japanese Cav Archers, too, so they scale very nicely. I think I'd prefer them over the Jurchen Cav Archers in the late stages. I'd also prefer to have the Persians over the Georgians in the late stages. I don't think Mr. Yo is going to win this fight. Crossbow count is too high for Hart. Yo falls back. 20 Vils behind Hart in the north. And Vitality are not going to go away quietly, it seems. They'll see Imp, and they'll know they need to force an engagement. Leary's just going to camp and wait. Like, he's hoping to click up. I think this should be the toughest point for them to defend, right? Because Hera's invested 2k res into Imp. And now they hope for the payoff. The Knights will go this way from Vivi. I don't know if they spot those Knights are there. I think Herug moves forward, and I think the Cav Archers go home to chase this. We'll see what they end up doing here, because Hera's got all his army here. Yeah, I think Hera's signaling. Hera's like, yeah, go chase this, please. He'll send a couple new units over there and a couple monks, too. But yeah, you want Hera to move forward with his power spike now. There's not a lot of stone on this map. I don't really know where it is, but it seems very rare that people get to castles. Yeah, this will not be enough damage here from Vivi. He'll lose that army, and now Hera's going to have Cavalier with armor. He is up against Arbalest. I didn't realize Lix was in Imp. That's actually a bit of a game changer, especially if they push Leary's TCs and take down Leary's Imp TC. Yo's still having some big problems, but he's still finding a way to make things difficult, and he's still raiding in the back. I mean, 2.5 minutes is a long time to wait for Savar. Hera will want that upgrade before taking any major fights here. That's quite a few arbs, and there will be some pikemen in the mix from Lix. Man, nice turnaround from Lix. T90, what's the speck of land in the bottom corner? It's completely useless. It's a bunch of rocks, but it'll probably make some guy in chat say, cool. Not important. This is not the Imp TC for Leary. There is this TC. Yep, there they go. See, there's a couple chatters out there. I mean, imagine, like, I probably wouldn't have thought my Imp TC was in jeopardy, so I would not have paid attention to it. Good that Leary did, though, because holy, man. This is the only TC that felt remotely safe there. Big Cav Archer mass moving forward from Yo. Hart's about to hit Imp as well. And there's the Cavalier, and this is the way to do it. Just pull the Arbs out of position. And look, the Rams now get sniped by new Cavalier. Leary keeps his CA mass. And Vivi's still not Imp yet. What's kind of cool, too, is the opponent converts Cavalier, and now they won't get the Savar upgrade. So if you're going to give a couple units to conversions, it's right before the upgrade, right? Yep, Savar's going to come in, and bam! Big increase in stats, and you're going to have Leary with heavy CA behind this. Well, Hera didn't have enough numbers to like win the fight, but he's got more units where that came from. And Hart going crazy because he'll have Arbalest. He won't get Bracer, but he still has Arbalest. He'll still have Chemistry coming quickly, and he's going to drop a forward castle on Yo. Army count, similar. Upgrade difference is ridiculous, though. Like, this isn't even close. Vitality's like 7 upgrades up on the opponent in Blacksmith and in unit technology. Arbalest is no longer that exciting anymore. Castle gets denied. I think Hart could easily delete this and just back it up a little bit, but he's that confident in his position, he feels like he could still complete this. I think Vitality's feeling pretty comfortable with their position right now. Only thing they're probably confused by is the score. The score does say it's pretty close. Yeah, this castle's going up. What's up, Swivel Hips? Thank you. Yeah, no easy way to compete with this right now. All this pressure, if it doesn't kill Lix, is just going to swing to the other side. Unlike that other game where there were castles everywhere and you couldn't really move to the back, that's not the case. There are some towers here, but like those towers, they're just going to melt to the Savar with no upgrades. An army running this way from Hart, running this way from Hera. Yo's still 2 minutes away from Imperial Age. And where's his Imp TC? His Imp TC is up here. Which, I don't think they even knew he was here. Hera's running up there to take that gold. They might find out about it. But yeah, Georgians don't get Paladin. So you're stuck on Cavalier. And you're up against Savar, which is a better version of a Cavalier. And you're up against that many heavy C8. You have to chase it down. It's a big, big ask. And there will go another castle. Another slightly questionable castle from Hart because he can. There should be no problem for him. And GGs are called as Hera patrols these Savar with the one monk there. And they're all moving super, super slow. It's over. Well played. Really interesting game here. I think as Lick still wants to fight with his army here and not tap out, I think this is the closest game I've seen on this map in a while. It was really cool how neither team really had that free fish boom. I think the key from Leary was while he lost the water, eventually he didn't lose it fast enough. And while Hera took some damage on water, so did Vivi. So it kind of stayed competitive there. They just did such a good job. Like, Hart had army all the time. Leary had army all the time. And the scouts were there as well from Hera. I'm going to go back to this stage, right? I want to go back to this moment. I think this was the one moment where I didn't feel things fit the strat for LY. Okay, so you go here, right? You're essentially being very, very greedy to set up the food eco for the pocket, right? So what you want is you don't want the pocket to take any damage because you've got the eco lead. And he gets excited, which it's understandable. He wants to go kill stuff, right? But what he didn't know about or track was this army, and then he didn't track this army, so he didn't know about this. I think if he just stays home with these scouts and waits for the pressure and clears this, I know what you're thinking. You're like, well, it's not possible to clear 290, blah, 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 blah. But think about it. He's got forging. He's got bloodlines. He's got a tower. There's not really that much army here. He'll probably lose a couple villagers. But you could make the scouts out of 2 stables, clear this. Hera's losing his fish. So Hera will lose his fish. Vivi will not lose however many villagers he lost and have this horrible inefficient eco. Like, this was what his eco looked like for 2 minutes after. It was horrible. He then gets to Castle Age faster, can play more of a support role this game, and then he can do what Hera was able to do, which is raid with knights on both players. So he can hit knights here, he can hit with knights here, and essentially supports the rest of the team. So I think that was where Vitality got a lot of damage in, was that like little triple attack on Vivi, and Vivi was never really able to recover. It was that in combination with the fact, like, Hera's Persians, right? And Hera's Hera. So you play Persians well, you're just going to dominate. I think Vivi fell way behind in Feudal Age. So, GG scores 3-2 now. And we will have more games, which is good. So, game number 6. This is wrong. We need to add another win here for Vitality. There we go. And we've got maybe the first... Now, what am I talking about? This isn't the first hybrid map. We've got another hybrid map. The thing to point out here is we have lots of blue, lots of water, lots of wet, right? It's connected, but it's very hard to get to the outside if you start the inside, and vice versa. So where you choose to dock is rather important. Hart is going to probably consider a dock on the backside. And again, if he wants to make... Oh, actually, hold on. It's open over here. It is closed over here. So you actually, if Hart docks here, nearly impossible for him to get to the middle. Meanwhile, we're going to have Hera. He's gone Vikings, and he's actually going to dock the front. I think the fact that we see Vikings and Koreans here from Vitality tells me that they really value the water. So yeah, Vikings for Hera, dock on the front. Koreans here from Leary. He's going to go for a dock as well. And for Leary, it's pretty much out-and-out water play, because he can't go land, right? Whereas for Hart, he can go land. He can go over this way, and he can go up against Vivi, who's gone for the Bengalis. And then you've got Yo, who's gone for the Burgundians. Again, not really a water civ. And then over here, we've got Lix, and Lix has gone for the Ethiopians, which is also not necessarily a water civ. But, like, we've got the back dock, so the fish are going to be somewhat safe. We got the back dock, so the fish are going to be very safe. We got a front dock, so the fish are going to be exposed for Vivi. I think the key in this game, guys, is how Vitality use the water. Both in how they fish boom, so, like, if they add a lot of eco there, because there's also whales, and you can get gold and whatnot. But also how quickly they kill the opponent's fish. They need to recognize that there's back docks, and they need to try and get back there, right? So Leary's way to do that would be to come this way. And then around over here. But I would kind of expect some aggression on lands, just based on the Civ picks here. It's interesting that Yo is walling already, and Vivi's walling already. Maybe they're expecting Hart to go for Man-at-Arms. And they might be right on that. I think Hart's about to build his barracks. Somebody said, and please don't use this as a pickup line. It will not work, I promise. Somebody in Twitch chat said, T90, I'm considering a dock on your backside, winky face. You better be careful, dude. My fiance is gonna beat you up. I think she's working right now, so you probably get away with it. That's funny, though. That's pretty good. Do you see the scouts actively on the shoreline right now? Hart's trying to find out where those docks are. He actually missed this one, which is kind of crazy. Is Hera gonna miss it as well? Interesting. So they don't actually know the dock is on the front for Vivi. Big walls from Vivi. He's also going to stone already, which makes me think he's considering a castle. And yeah, like they're expecting Man-at-Arms, and that's absolutely going to be it from Hart. I just don't know if you can just like freely wall and like really get away with it. Like, shouldn't Man-at-Arms still take down the houses pretty quickly? Archer follow-up could still be really strong. Leary's going to be fast feudal. His scout's going to be out looking around. He's actually on the wrong side because it takes a while to get over here. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Double dock down here from Licks. I mean, the plan from Leary is to go Navy. Shocker. The plan from Hera is to add fish and just boom and go fast castle and then adapt. Also, not really a big shocker. Yo, I think, wanted to go fast castle into, like, cav spam. Not out of a castle, but out of just a stable, and he's adding the fish. They never scouted this dock from Vivi. Which means Vivi's fishing ships might never be found, despite being in the most vulnerable position on the front. And Hart, running around this way, and he's trying to keep this open. You can't let units inside if you're Vivi. And he lets the units inside. Oh, no. To go for that many walls, just for there to be a hole anyways, is brutal. I mean, well played from Hart, but this is what happens with a risky strategy, right? Vivi basically going for a phosphor fast castle, but doing his best to get the food from the fish as well. And it's just a lot of greed, but he might be able to defend from this. He'll drop a tower here. He's missing the wood for a blacksmith yet. And the fish have not been found. So, like, it's the correct move, as we actually have Hawks passing over this way. It's a correct move from Lear to go this way. But someone should be sending something here, in theory. Maybe they don't really care about it. Lix is making a couple ships. He's going to kill the fish. Good luck with that. Leary's got Navy on the way out, and he's got galleys already. I don't think those Hawks are going to do anything. And what he's trying to do is he's just trying to get to Hera's fish boom to slow down Hera, but yeah, Leary's never going to let that happen. Yeah, Leary did find it. He did actually just find the dock. It might not have been him. It might have also just been hard around with the archers. So they know Vivi's dock is there now. And he dives in there. I think Leary will think better of that. And Leary's still tracking the Hawk very nicely. And just non-stop pressure here from Hart. Because Hart knows this is going to be a castle drop from Vivi. Let's not forget Yo, though. Yo's got 13 fishing ships and counting in the back, which has been protected on this side. So for now, he's fish booming, and he's probably going to add scouts or knights. And if he shows up, he could support Vivi. I wonder what Hera's going to do, though. Like, Hera's got a crazy eco. He's adding a couple ships. I think he's just going to go kill Vivi. I think Hera's just going to boom. He hasn't found the fish yet. Hera doesn't really have a lot to do right now, so you'd expect him to find the fish. But maybe it's also been communicated that the Hulk is out there and he needs to defend that. And Vivi holds. I mean, the food income he's got from the fish has been so nice because his eco is so bad otherwise. Hera will find this for now. And Leary really motivated to try and push through. People don't really believe in demos right now, but if there was a time for a demo, this would be it. You can come from either side. This is a really tight choke point to advance into if you're Leary. But the reason he does this is because Yo's in the back, and Yo's got a free fish boom, and he knows it. Hart has made it through. I mean, from multiple angles, he's made it through, but still Vivi holds on. And Leary's made it through as well. That's so bad for them. That is so bad for them. It's only good if Yo is completely fine to defend it, but Yo is not planning on having to defend this at all. Great job from Leary. And great job from Hart as well. Like, this has been non-stop pressure on Vivi. I don't know how many villagers Vivi's lost, but he doesn't have his fish working. They're going to go down. And I've seen at least 2 go down over here, and he still doesn't have the castle. Yo knows this is coming now. He'll queue up a couple fires. He could get the warships upgrade, but he's mixing in some knights instead. And there's the castle from Vivi on the back. The Leary micro is going to be insane. He's on the way to Castle Age. And yeah, the fires aren't upgraded. So Leary's able to make it happen so far. And Hera's just got a free boom. I think in the past, we'd have these big question mark on the Vikings because it'd be like, oh no, Viking late game isn't good. What do they do on land? Is that even needed here? Like, so much of this map is rangeable by water. Does Hera ever need to go a land unit? I don't think so. Like, I truly think that he could just boom, get up to like 4 TCs, drop castles everywhere, make longboats, and make cannon galleons. And longboats here and here. And like, I mean, you help on land enough, and then you have cannon galleons everywhere too. Hart's got to stay alive right now. Because he's up against Castle Age units. But this is looking very good for Team Vitality. Yo's Knights moving out with the Ratha. And not bad for Romans. You have Romans, you double armor on your spears can help against both these units. I do think it needs to be communicated to Hera that like, hey bro, this pressure could easily come to you, or I might need some help at some point. Hera just booming with the fish. I'm a bit torn on the whales, guys. Because, like, the thing is, it's so good to have gold on water. It makes water even more important. And I feel like on a map like this and many maps where there weren't whales before, water was already important, right? It's like, I'm going to double click the whale here and just show you how much gold on this map. 12k gold of the, okay, to be fair, like 100k gold on the map is whale. So that's, and I think Hera's took like 2,000 or 3,000 already. So the water's that much more valuable when you have whales on the map scripts. Hart takes a pretty good fight there. He was up against double army. I did not expect to see him have too much. And yeah, I mean, he is he still going to struggle? Yes. But he's just holding on for his team right now. The other one where there's a swing migration, 1/4 of the map is whale gold. So like on the ladder migration now, winning water is so much more important because like 1/4 of the gold in the map is from the whales. Whales are very, very, very strong. But here it doesn't look like it's that much in comparison because you still have 100k gold elsewhere. Monastery from Vivi, Siege from Vivi. Heart Civ has Redemption, but no Sanctity, which means this could get really dangerous. And this is where Hera should help, right? So, Again, long run, you have the Navy. You do really good things here, but not if the units are already going to kill Heart right now. And you didn't have the Navy here. Heart just barely completes the TC. It's the toughest position to play right now, is holding 1v2 if you're Heart, without the craziest fish boom. That's actually not true, though. He does have a lot of fish. He's done an amazing job. Hera will make some monks. Hope for conversions. He gets one conversion and we'll save the monk. I actually thought there was an argument for Hera to play Viking Knights here, but that's probably too crazy. I felt like maybe a couple stable units could be nice for Hera. Sneaky from Lix. Lix is trying to sneak onto the water to prevent the free fish boom. If that goes unchecked, the fishing ships are going to disappear. I don't know if Hera actually sees that. Ooh, he didn't see it. Look, he re-patrolled. And if this patrols in from Lix, Lix could find a lot of kills. In the back, fishing ships are all but dead for Yo, so they need to find those kills on Hera at least. Hera's still got a healthy Vil count, though. And push is starting and continuing here from Yo and from Vivi. Keep an eye on Hera's fishing ship count, because he's adding more, so he doesn't know this. They tracked this, and now he knows. Now he sees it. He shouldn't lose that much more, to be honest. Someone chimes in. As someone who's eaten whale meat, and now there's like this back and forth discussion amongst 3 people. We're having a whale meat discussion. And here we've got a castle drop from Vivi. He needs to delete that. Big shots for both. There's enough monks in there from Heart. There's just enough resistance, but he loses his siege. And his monks are still chasing. Oh, God. His monks continue to move. I think he only got 1 conversion there. He ran right into the shot. That castle's going up. And we have a pause. You know what that might have been? I'm going to give Heart the benefit of the doubt. That might have been lag. Because typically I would expect Heart to back off with his monks there. After the cav run back. Maybe it was like a 10-second or 5-second little lag and speed up there for Heart. There's nothing you can do about it now. But I mean, during the moment, you pause when your game freezes, right? This might also be a pause to discuss the moral, ethical whale conversation. But yeah, no fish for Yo whatsoever. No fish for pretty much the whole team pretty soon. I think Yo's 4 fishing ships are just inside of a dock. And Hera's on the way to Imp. Still no sign he's going to go land army, except for that barracks. So maybe Hera will plan on like pikemen or something like that. Anyways, guys, we're back in the game. I'm so sorry. They're restoring. We had a whale break and a beaver break. And if you missed it, you had to be here. Heart doesn't want to be here. Heart, not a very big fan of how this game is playing out. And Hera's got to go army, but Hera's got to go army fast. He's about to be an imp, but Cavalier are here, Ratha are here, and Heart is quickly dying. I kind of want to cast like the whale guy now. I don't know if I could do it justice, though. Yeah, Heart barely has a base, guys. Like, he's going to continue to lose grounds. And I feel like Hera's maybe a little late with the tech switch. Like, he had so many resources for so long that maybe he could have had the Arbalest upgrade right away and a couple other upgrades. But he will still be an imp. He does still have lots of ranges to produce from. And he should end up dealing with this. Meanwhile, sneak barracks from Leary. Leary is going to try and put some pressure onto Lix. And if only Lix had a civilization that had a bonus that gave his outpost 10 times the vision. Oh, wait! Oh, that's right. It is this Civ, and we don't have outposts, and he's being surprised. Okay, never mind. He sees this. Nothing bothers me more than when someone gets surprised as the Ethiopians. Like, they don't cost stone for your outpost, and you get so much vision. They're both going to drop the castle here. And Leary sees it, and so Leary's going to back up. Hera's still chasing down the Ratha. Heart's still holding on. Does have 82 villagers, which is impressive. And Hera's going to bring Arbalest this way. Maybe what he could do is he could go cannon galleons over in this area to, like, slowly take down the buildings. But I think with Hera having Arbs, he's fine. Heart's, what's kept him in the game is he's been fishing the entire game. So really good work. You know what I'm realizing, guys? It's actually really hard for Leary and Hera to immediately affect this game in early imp. Unless they do something like this, right? Like, he's trying to transport. But if he doesn't get this castle down, and I don't know if he can wall there, they might stall out. Oh, and Yo's going for the transport as well. Leary's trying to run and gets away. But that's like transport number 2 that Leary has kind of struggled to do anything with. And Hera comes this way. He still has plenty of potential, but Yo's got Paladin on the way, and we'll see if the Viking Arbalests are going to end up being enough here. But yeah, guys, should I talk about the game, or can I continue? Can I finish my story on the beaver experiment? It's up to you. You guys run the show here. Okay, beaver. Yeah, so basically, right, they needed to get beavers into this location. I think in like the 50s or the 60s or whatever. They needed to get the beavers there. And they're like, well, we can't get anybody up there. So let's just chuck them out of planes. And so they came up with this, like, humane for the 50s or whatever, system where they have this box that had, like, cushions at the bottom of it. So they and then they picked this old beaver who's basically near death anyways. Because they're like, if we're going to kill a beaver throwing him out of a plane, we got to make sure it's a beaver that's already doomed. They throw this dude. This dude has a name. Like, this beaver is famous if you look him up. They throw this beaver out of the plane on this, and then it has like a little parachute attached. They then send one. I don't know. I guess they had to go pick it up. They realized it worked, and the beaver didn't die. And then they threw him out like another 10 times because they wanted to test it enough times with the same beaver and not jeopardize other beavers. Long story short, they determined the system and the boxes they created were good. And then they just threw like 100 beavers into the area to populate the area. And that's the story. Hera, by the way, has no clue where to go with his army. And I fear, in many ways, maybe this population that Vitality has is kind of deceiving. We've yet to see him push. Okay, he is pushing this castle down. And he is going to wedge his Arbalest into this little choke point and make it hard for the Paladins to get through. So I think Hera's fine. And what you want to do is you want to push here. But yeah, that was science before there were, that was back in the figure it out era. So, crazy stuff. I'm noticing Leary's also landed on the left side. And he's dropping towers, and he's going to start and try and push this. Which is actually really tough for Licks to engage into because of the way the wood line's positioned. Hera can add in the cannon galleons, which he does have out there. And they're on the shoreline already. And they are taking down buildings, and they are going to be almost impossible to engage into. And it's the same exact thing for Leary. So this is kind of what we said before. Didn't it also have a small explosive charge to let them out from the crate? Yeah, it was actually a pretty cool system. I encourage you guys to read about it. It's pretty wild. Like, and it worked. Like, first go, it worked. And they just kept the same system, so. Right now, it's looking like, unlike the beaver in that story, that LY are probably going to go down and not survive. At least this game. Their strategy just lacked the eco this game. And honestly, Heart surviving and being an imp right now is so impressive. I think if they would have taken Heart out of the game with the double push, then maybe it's worth it. But I'm just seeing Yo lose his stables everywhere where he needs to produce from. He's going to start to lose his eco in all these different areas. And then, like, Leary's not losing grounds here either. Like, Leary's just going to play Fire Lancer and towers and bombard cannons. LY's strat was to push and to take this area. So it's not going to happen. Not against Roman Halbs as well. Like, Roman Halbs is just perfect civilizations Halbs to have here. Mixed in with Siege Ram as well. Yeah, that was when they wanted to populate the area. As we see, Yo, hard stack patrol in there. Which is crazy. That's the only way the Paladins can engage against the Halbs. And so, by go the Halbs. Paladins will try and get around the Arbs as well. Hera does have full upgrades on his Arbalest, so this is as good as it can get for him. And if they start to lose some fights here, maybe then the thinking starts to change. It's a pretty good fight from Mr. Yo and from Vivi. But Vivi still doesn't have Elite Ratha. Man, Vivi didn't have Ballistics. He didn't have Pikes. He doesn't have Elite Ratha. Vivi's really far behind. Oh, yeah. The test beaver was named Geronimo. I forgot about that. That's so good. I forgot his name, bro. That's such a hilarious name for Geronimo. Yeah, read about Geronimo the beaver. He's a legend, man. I'm going to look him up in between games. YouTube, if you're watching later on and you're confused, I'm sorry. But we had a very long break, and we started discussing whales, and things went off course. And that's just how it goes sometimes. You could look it all up yourself. Bombard cannons and towers and trebs continue to move in perfectly from Leary. And Vitality's feeling it right now. And it just... My thing is... Why was it Fast Castle Ratha to play on the flank? Like, why couldn't Vivi just play archers with Yo going knights? Did it have to be Fast Castle Ratha? Like, I don't think Fast Castle Ratha did anything. I guess it was an extreme strat, but I think Vivi could have played somewhat standard and just played towards land. Trying to get to Ratha just took so much time, I feel, and so much eco, and he took so much damage. So, 3-3 in the show match. It's a best of 7. We got one more game coming up to decide the winner, and hopefully it's a good one. I think it's going to be on Arabia, too, which should be amazing. I like how they're saving Arabia for last. And back to what I said. I mean, you get so much value from the fishing eco if you take water on this map, but you also have... I'll go back and... Actually, I guess I can't go the whole way back. But we double-checked it, right? And there's like 15 to 20k gold value. So you have the food value and the gold value from having the water when there's a mix of whales. I think if that remains the case, water will always be very, 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 very strong on this map. And water is often strong, right? Because you have all that eco just for the food. So, all right, guys. So, a little bit of speeding up here. There may be a little bit of laming, so I have to immediately pay attention for that. But we've got 3v3 Arabia to decide it, and the score's 3-3. Best of 7. Arabia is kind of the bread and butter of team games if you like lots of action. And on the flank over here, we've got Lix. Lix is actually just pushing in his deer, but on the other side, we've got Vivi. And Vivi's trying to lame Heart right now. Vietnamese, you know exactly where the enemy TC is. Sometimes, though, you're a little too close. Sheep is actually still out here. I don't know what happened there. Heart somehow got one of them? I guess, oh, it's a 9 villager start, right? So the sheep are sectioned off differently. But it doesn't look like Heart got significantly lamed because all of his external sheep have been still remain, and he brought in both of his boars. Heart playing as the Shu. Pocket for Hera is the Franks. And then the other flank is Leary playing as the Malay. The flanks will play archers, and the pocket will play scouts and the knights, and things will be very aggressive. And that's the thing. The meta is pretty much set up. We'll have archers as well from Lix. And we'll also have Vivi going for archers with Yo being the pocket, Yo playing as the Magyars. And we'll go scouts into the knights. Now, what's going to happen is I'm going to say this really insightful, really cool thing, and then they're going to do the exact opposite because I know how this stream works. But I want to describe the difference between these teams real quick. Leary, Heart, and Hera, they're going to happily just try and like match their opponent and out-execute them, right? This is the first time, really, where there's a meta. It's like everyone does this on both sides, right? So that's really how Vitality like to play. Yo and Vivi and Lix, they love to sneak their armies. So there's these instances where you have like 2 armies on the hill, and they're both jockeying for position. LY does not like that. They typically have a lot of sneaking. They like to get a couple archers into the back, and they like to make you chase them. Now, that's easier said than done. You can't just, like, magically make that happen. Leary up the feudal age really, really fast. Actually, too fast. He won't be able to go archers this fast with the Malay, but I'm sure he'll figure it out. But, yeah, it's just one of the fascinating things. Another player who's really good at making armies chase is Tato. He's on a completely different team, of course, but it definitely is the way that Lix, Vivi, and Yo like to play. And fast feudal age might pay off here for Leary. That villager's exposed. And he chooses not to attack it. There will be 2 villagers in a second. Barracks is up. And archer range is on the way up for Leary already. Not Couch, welcome, says T90, longtime YouTube viewer. Played when I was a kid. Can anyone tell me what I need to do to download on Steam to play the game? Do I need the $100 bundle of all the civs? So there's been a lot of expansions. You can just get the base version of Age of Empires Definitive Edition, which gives you like, what, 25 civs or something? It gives you a lot. So if I were you, I would start there. And then, you know, from there, if you want different DLCs, if they interest you, if you're enjoying playing the game, then you can always get the additional DLCs. You still get a lot with this, the base version of DE. Eagle's going to get sniped there. Scout's pretty weak from Leary, but that's a nice snipe. That's kind of the weakness of Mayans these days. Leary actually pretty badly housed at the moment. He's not producing a vill. Oh, but he's building houses on the backside. You could tell Vitality's like just on top of it, right? A little bit faster, a little bit more aggressive. They are built for Arabia, in my opinion. And you're going to see those scouts come in from Hera. Just double checking the maps here. Maps look pretty good for both pockets. You really want like a tiny little bubble wall where your gold is protected. So Hera doesn't really have that. Gold's on the outside. Yo could do that. Gold's still going to be exposed. A lot of army needs to be made, though. A lot of pressure needs to happen first. And Heart moving forward already. It'll be a 2v2 on this right side, though, because the scout players are both coming here. Nice quick walling from Vivi. Pressure's on already. Left side will be a 1v1 between Lix and between Leary. And putting Leary in the 1v1 role is just amazing. And, ooh, bit of an overextend there from Heart. But actually, it goes both ways, and both players lose archers. Vivi's also under a lot more pressure actively on his gold, so he's even going to go for an early tower. Couch, thanks for the prime, man. Enjoy. And yeah, if you're playing the game, have any questions or whatever, join our Discord server. There's a lot of other people doing the same. You could always ask any questions there. Notice how Leary hasn't moved out. Leary's like, you know what? I'm fine. I'm waiting for you. If they're both even, Leary's always going to like his chances. And let's see where Lix goes. Now, Lix is kind of running blindly. He knows his opponent's tracking him. And he doesn't know what to do based on that information. Because Yo's wide open. There could be... Leary technically has the invitation to move out. I think Lix just said, come kill this scout. Now watch this. From Leary's perspective, he's going to look for that. He's looking back at it. We also have 2 armies moving away from Vivi over to Yo right now. Yeah, he doesn't see the archers. Look at these guys, though. With the tower up and a lot of momentum right now, Vitality want to switch sides and get to Mr. Yo. And Mr. Yo, this has not been communicated. At least he hasn't, like, panicked walled up. They don't see an army, and they're not really being told. Yo is over here now. Nice quick walls from Heart. This is wide open if Vitality just goes this way. This is wide open. Did they not scout him? Oh my god. Like, if they just went here, it could be game ending. It's still open, bro. Yo, your base is open. You got 2 armies. You haven't seen it forever. Oh my god. That could have been so bad. Still could be bad. He's still got his scouts around here. He hasn't killed too much, though. Where's Lix, though? See, Heart is never going to expect this. And Leary? A while ago, he saw that army, but I think he convinced himself it hasn't moved out. He's still sitting at home because he wants to win the game on a fast castle age. Heart thinks he's defended right now. And they're trying to push in against Mr. Yo. Mr. Yo is holding, panicking, quick walling. Scouts are going to engage. I think Yo needs patience because the army's coming in as well, and Heart sees it. Honestly, great reaction from Heart. If he didn't immediately tower, he could lose everything here. He's making it tough for Yo, who's already having to defend himself. Yo's losing a lot of his scouts here. Heart will lose some archers, but the tower might defend the rest. Yo, of course, still looking back at his base. Who hasn't taken any damage this game would be Lix, Leary, and Hera. So that's 3 people who haven't taken damage. Heart's taking big damage, though. And Vivi's bringing archers over. He's here to support Mr. Yo, who right now can't take his gold. So he can't get to Castle Age. But Hart can't take gold. Hart can barely take berries. And if you can't take gold, you can't produce archers consistently. Hart is in a rough spot because they didn't track that army. Hera's army is going to run away. And he leaves Hart on his own. And Yo can just full clear this now. Yeah, kind of lazy man micro from Yo. He's not taking the spear. But the spear's lazy too. And the spear's not engaging because Hart is struggling at home. Hera's scouts are going to try and run over to Lix's base now. But nice job from LY. Very nice job. Hart not being able to move forward at all right now is brutal. I think the next challenge, though, and this is... You got, like, 2 final bosses right now if you're Lix. You got Leary, and then you got Hera backing him up, who's had a pretty good game this game, at least with his eco. Stable's coming up. Blacksmith is coming up. Hera's got the gold protected with a tower. These games end often in early castle. Like in the really good 3v3 Arabias, it's not about that. And, you know, this will go imp. But it's kind of rare because there's just so much potential for damage. Nice clear up in the back from Hart so he can get to breathe again. But there is a big army from Vivi. Like, Vivi's got 18 archers, and there's only 6 right now for Hart. So I think if Hera's going to clean anything, he might want to clear this. Obviously, doesn't know exactly where it is, but he might find out if the archers hit his wood line. Okay. Guys, how do you kill Leary? Like, he just sat at home all game, is waiting for early castle, and then he's just going to smash. How do you kill him? He's got 26 archers. Can you kill him? You would need support from Yo or something, or maybe Vivi's going to have to come over. Blow up a whale by him? I don't think that's the strat. There's no water here. Hera wants a TC there. Archers come to the woodline at that exact moment. He actually saves the Vils, though. They can still build the TC from the other side. And actually, if Hera gets to clear this before the crossbowman, that's not too bad. I think after seeing Hera's in Castle Age, they're going to back away. Scout comes through. Mr. Yo wants a Vil kill. Won't get it. Leary sitting on the hill. He will be later to castle. Lix is going to have a bunch of archers from 3 ranges as well. So that's Lix's opportunity. Vivi getting hit. And his army's kind of stuck in the middle running home right now. So he's forced to drop a tower. Nice recovery from Hart. Oh, now the armies are fighting here. Lix just clicks his upgrades. And Leary will realize... Leary will chase this down. He knows the amount of time. He's done the math. He's got about 10 seconds that he can still take fights before the upgrades come in. And then he has to back up. And now he should back up. And now, as he's getting his own upgrades, his opponent is chasing. And then he can probably meet him with upgrades near the hill. Hera's knights are going to the left side. So Lix is going to be under the most pressure. So Lix is up against 30 crossbows from Leary. And he's up against knights from Hera. Not going to be easy. The scouts from Yo running around. Seeing the university. Hoping to delay the university. So Leary can't get ballistics. Snipes the Vil. Delays it. It's not bad. But now +2 knights are here. And those knights are going to get on the correct side. They're going to block off these crossbows as well. And Lix completely overextends. So you want counter damage, right? You want to hit Castle Age and push out because your team's behind a little bit, but... And the thing is, if you don't have enough army to fight Leary right now, you know what he does? Right to Yo. And Hera's going to go with him as well. I love what Yo's doing, though. Yo's still delaying the university. That's must be so annoying for Leary. So he won't have ballistics. 5 archer ranges from Lix. So he's just going to snake crossbows the entire game to recover the numbers. Crossbow's gone this way from Vivi, but he ran into only houses, so he can't really break through. I think they're turning around now. I think they're going to go home and try and clear this. Which is a lot of time with control for Vitality, because the opponent's only reacting and chasing to them. But, like, I think you kind of have to. If you don't keep Yo alive, it's game over. Yo will protect the gold. You can leave the woodline for now. All of Vivi's crossbows are turning around. Lix is converging towards the middle as well, but his TC on the front could be delayed, so he needs to be careful. He'll probably lose a vill or two. And Leary's through, and now he has ballistics. And now he's just going to snipe the farms, let Hera take a look in here. Oh, man. Yo's eco is in such a rough spot. So bad compared to Hera's. Like, Hera's got 55 eco. I mean, Franks are just the superior economic civ. Like, Magaras get the extra attack upgrades for free, but they don't have any eco bonuses. And Yo had a lot of idle time, and here comes Vivi. And here comes Lix. If they can clear Leary, they get rid of this death ball, then they have 3 people with army, they could potentially turn this around. But it's all vitality right now. Through Leary and through Hera. And then Heart's going to have some chances to join in the mix. Heart's got his army over here. I think they're just going to find out that Vivi is here. And they're going to try and run to the back now. Kind of like I introed, like LY likes to do. Never really got the chance this game. Hera has some weak knights in there. Yo's knights are healthy. Nice little dance maneuver from both players with the knights. And Yo will go in for the patrol. It's a good fight. But they need the crossbows actually hitting here. Hera dodging some shots there with the knights. Nerding out a little bit. I think they'll get the clear here, guys. Nice micro on the front. Leary's back with more crossbows. Just 1 TC for Leary, by the way. Is 2 TCs for the others. And, ooh, the crossbows actually hit the gold tier for Yo. See, the thing is, you can't have this. You can't be pushed off of farms and pushed off of gold. You can't produce knights consistently. Like, Hera's going to have so many more knights because his eco is completely untouched right now. And, oh, God, he gets in the front as well. He gets into the front and slices up a couple vills. Nightmare for Yo. Nightmare for Lix. Lix trying to out-micro Leary. Not having the best of times, pushing up the hill. And it's about to get pretty bad for Vivi as well because Heart's looking pretty good. Military count is pretty even. Eco count higher for vitality. It's the 70 vil mark, guys. That's what I look to, is when you start to see the second and the third stable. It's not exact numbers, but Hera's working on 2. I'm going to predict he goes for a second and a third here in just a second. It's like just around that time is when your eco feels good enough to really bump up the production. It's actually going for University and Monastery. He's going to click Imp. To be honest, it's a little risky to go Imp. But that's what he's going to try. Because Yo is going to be maxing out on numbers because they need to recover with military. I just kind of thought we'd see Vitality keep their foot on the gas. That's very risky if you ask me. Because Hera's not producing as much army. I don't know, man. I think if Vitality loses this game, it goes back to this decision. You got to keep making knights. Crossbows are coming out. Knights are coming forward. Yo's going to spam. Like, Yo himself is probably 3 stable, yeah. Like, Yo's big numbers. And there goes Hera on the way to the Imperial Age. He's just going to fall back with his knights. And they're going to have to brace themselves. So this will be a little confusing, I think, for LY because the normal play is more production with military. Amazing job from Hart again to push you off of gold. Yo has had such a nightmarish game. And Hart is going to be over here. Leary might need to come over as well. They basically got to keep Hera alive because he's invested 2k resources into Imp instead of some knights here. Yo will clear this so he can be back on gold, but that did really slow down his knight production, which makes Hera's approach that much more potent. Because Yo can't be up to like 20, 25 knights right now. So I think the fact that Yo doesn't have big eco for knights means that Hera, with the support of his teammates, should be able to wait, should be able to hold. Still is like a 25 eco lead over the other pocket, right? Yeah, and they actually have a good enough army to maybe take the fight. Nice job from Hart and Leary to get here. Hera coordinates. And they will be able to clear this. Pretty close to clearing it anyways. It's always tough because the Magaras have +2 attack over the Franks right now. Yo's micro is good, but his eco has been in shambles this entire game. Oh, God. Hello. Hello. Forgot about Lix. Forgot about Lix. Lix is starting a tower rush. Leary getting pressured on this side big time, and all his ranges are going down. Lingwan has the army lead. Lix has kept things competitive against Leary. A big part of it is Leary had to leave his base. Leary, this is so bad for Leary. He can't eject out of any of his ranges without losing units here. It's really bad. So Hera's got to carry now. He's going for Cavalier. He's going for full armor. Will those units be good enough? Vivi's dropping a castle over here. Vivi's on the way to Imp. Vivi has to keep his army alive. Hera now on 4 stables. Still a really good eco. Leary can't really push the guard tower and the rams that easily. And Hart can't go this way because there's a castle and there's a big army. I think Vivi getting to like 60 arbs is the key here. Hera's got to completely ruin someone with this Cavalier upgrade. It looks like he's going to Yo. To be honest, I think it's fine for LY. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, Hera's in a great spot. Hera should carry and win this game regardless. But, like, Yo's kind of already behind him. I think what you don't want if you're LY is you don't want Lix to take a big hit. And you don't want Vivi to take a big hit. So as Hera goes to Yo, Knights and Crossbows are going to combine on Hart. But, oh, man, you can tell Yo just got hit. Because he takes this fight. He never wanted to take that fight. He's just looking at his base right now. Oh, man, the game snowballs on you so hard. There's a hole here from before as well. The Cavalier can just run through. Meanwhile, Leary update. Still having a tough time, but he is about to reach Imp. And Vivi update. Vivi's about to reach Imp, with Hera having Paladin on the way. Thing is, TCs don't kill Cavalier. Yo's getting massacred. Vivi needs Arb right now. Arb, Bracer, Chem. He needs all that, and Hera needs to avoid... I can't speak. He needs to kill this now, or you wait until Paladins take any engagements. Mr. Yo's out of the game. Lix isn't an Imp yet. Leary will be an Imp. No Trebs or anything, but he will have Bracer. Still really hard to breathe. And they're going for the fight. Leary has Vils here. And this is just before the upgrades, guys. Look, the upgrade. Okay, Bracer just came in. Arb's about to come in. I don't know why Leary had Vils there, but that ended up working out. That was a really good fight. They got a good enough engagement right before the Arb upgrade, and Hart's actually able to clear up and do the rest of the work there. Vivi obviously has to send Arbs home to save Mr. Yo. This gives Hera time for Paladin now. I think that was Lingwan's window, was the Arbalest. And that was a really sick find. From Hart, Hera, but also Leary dropping the gate there. That's just so good, dude. That's just so good. It's not really a mistake for Vivi to be out there either. Like, Vivi's not expecting to get gate trapped. If he doesn't get gate trapped, he can move around a little bit and take a better engagement. And GG's called. LI are going to tap out because Yo is down to 45 pop. He's, like, back in the feudal age. And, what was the score? 3-1 for Lingwan? Vitality, turn it around. Very good game from Hera, Hart, and Leary. I think they're the best team on Arabia. And they showed it. Like, early feudal, good coordination with the scouts, lots of pressure. The double they got on Mr. Yo kind of set it all up. And I will say, like, Lix and Yo did a decent job to try and get some counter damage here to Hart. But I think getting the double onto the pockets while simultaneously just letting Leary be Leary on the flank was a really good game plan here. Leary just kind of chilled out. He played towards Castle Age. Obviously, eventually, Lix pushed him back. But the damage was already done when Leary was able to move forward and hit Yo. I think Hart, it's a weird game where you don't necessarily look at him and say ooh and ah a lot. I think he had an incredible game. He was late to Castle Age compared to Vivi. I think by quite a lot. Yeah, so look at the difference in Castle Age. He didn't die to that. He, like, fortified up with lots of house walls. He had towers where he needed. And then he also contributed in some really important fights. Also, like, raiding Yo and whatnot. Like, Hart, for a player who was 3 minutes later to Castle Age than everyone else, had a really, really nice game. But yeah, Paladin difference did it in the end. Yeah, look, Hart took really good engagements. Shu don't have any military bonuses that give them an advantage over the Vietnamese. And yet he was able to take really good engagements the entire game. So, sick stuff from Hart. And Vitality win. 4-3. And I think Vitality play in the qualifier for the 3v3 event tomorrow. They do have to qualify. I'd expect them to completely crush anyone they run into. They're really, really good. But fun games.